This is the J-Hawks Sports Network, powered by Heartland Technology.
All right, welcome aboard on the J-Hawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. We are set to go for our last regular season game of the season as we have Jesup coming in tonight for the 24 campaign at 3-4 on the year, 1-3 in district play, Class 2A 6, and Vinton Shellsburg coming in with a record here in the same district at 0-7 and 0-4, and the tightest game they've had all year. As I scan through, trying to decide what could be the tightest game, potentially was last week against Union in a 42-6 win. But we'll discuss this game and what's going to come up in last week. But joining me is the coach, Tim Sauer, as we are set for our broadcast tonight. High school seniors, our football seniors and managers, about 14 total, were honored here just a few moments ago. And we will honor our band members at halftime. But welcome in, Tim. And this game is important for the Jayhawks.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for us to play this Week 8 game. Usually at this time in any normal October, you'd be looking at 40-degree temperatures, maybe some stiff wind.
You're generous on that temperature.
Oh, yeah. So this is, we've had amazing weather this whole entire season. Could use a little rain out there to kind of make the field a little bit softer. Excellent night for football. Looks like a little full moon to our northeast. And, man, a great opportunity to strap it up and get going tonight.
Yeah, you're looking at temperature right now, game time, a little before game time, it's 62 degrees, and that wind is coming out of the southeast. Pretty brisk right now. I'd have to pull up and see exactly where that's coming, but that could play a factor with the kicking game and where that's going to be when we're running that way. But, coming into this game, it's game 8 on the year. Prior to COVID, it was a 9-season game or a 9 season. And the Jayhawks are trying to get that 9th game, but it's going to take a win tonight, but also some other things need to happen.
Yeah, so this is we're in a really good position. Obviously, we'd be in a better position if we would have been able to squeak that one out against Union. But tonight, we got to focus on ourselves. Tonight, you're going to see us we got to win to get in. We win tonight, we'll be able to get the 4 seed for the playoffs. And we're going to need a little bit of help in order to try to get a little bit better seed, try to get that 3rd seed. But we're going to need some help. So Mr. Clayberg and I up here, we've got a little iPad up here to show the Union and West Marshall game. And that's something we're going to keep tabs on throughout the whole entire night to kind of see how Union and West Marshall are doing. And depending on how that goes, we'll try to give you updates. And maybe that speaks a little bit about our position going into potential playoffs.
So we are set here very shortly, but want to honor in that we did honor some of our players tonight that were seniors. I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to probably miss. Hopefully, I don't miss somebody, but I'm going to try and get through here. Paxton McCone, Nick Moore, Preston Youngblood, along with Landon Vogel, Ryan Treptow. All seniors, Jude Sullivan, who started off the year pretty strong. Injury, game 3 into the season, but has kind of turned into an assistant coach in the sideline, kind of helping the linebackers out there. Cole Resnick, Dan Clayberg on there, as well as A.J. Farrell. And give credit to J.D. Sadler, a senior, Hunter Surley. And also there were some seniors down there, Avery Dewald, and I'm missing one.
Shooty.
Yep. So, Carly Shooty down there as well. So, 14 total seniors. But, I think I calculated that yesterday when I talked to Coach McMartin. That was like 16% of the graduating class is playing football.
Yeah. And, that's always,
considering that senior class is 2/3 girls.
Right. And that's always one thing you try to look at when you're looking at your potential numbers, especially when you look at state funding coming in. How big's, each grade going to be? What's the split? Is it 50-50, 60-40? I think when Rachel was in school, it seemed like there was 80% boys and 20% were girls.
Yep.
And so that's things you try to factor in as you're trying to develop a program, looking at your youth, middle school and high school, and seeing kind of forecasting what's coming up here in the future.
So 9:35 to go. We see the boys making their way around. This is something Coach McMartin introduced last season, bring them around in front of the elementary. And tonight's a little bit special. You got the marching band down there, the pep band, but they're going to walk through a tunnel of youth football players tonight, and you've got one down there.
Yeah, so tonight, a special treat for our 1st through 6th graders that participate in flag football. Coach Martin wants them to line up the tunnel so the boys can give them high fives. And this is something that I saw practice actually quite frequently back in my alma mater, Rosemont High School in Rosemont, Minnesota. And, Stratton's down there. He's been talking about this all week since Coach McMartin mentioned it to him. So he's a little tired. It's been a full day for him, but he's ready to go and, someday be in that position where he's running through giving high fives to other people.
So we'll get a chance to see them come through here very shortly as I don't know if we can get an eye on that down there, but head coach Jacob McMartin and his squad again coming in tonight with a record of 3-4 overall, 1-3 in district play. They've got the wins early on against Wapsie Valley, beating Olwine before Olwine's season just became non-existent because they had to forfeit the rest of their games. And the comeback, I wouldn't say the comeback, but the comeback in the season win, beating Iowa Falls Alden last week 35-6. We can talk a little bit about that game, Tim. Coming out of the gate, 0-0 in that first quarter, but they stacked up some points in that second quarter, and they were hitting.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Sometimes you try to figure out how close to are you on paper, and I think on paper they were a little bit the favorites, I think 3-point favorites, and, we came out. We played trademark Jesup football, a stout run defense. We ran the ball extremely well. We were able to air it out here and there as well. And instead of being 3-point underdogs or losing by 3 points, we came out the victor, winning by 29.
Yeah. And here come your Jayhawks. Lead the seniors through. And got a good crowd on hand tonight for senior night as we honored them. And it's camo night in the stands for the student section that sits just down below us. But head coach for Vinton Shellsburg is Joe Hadacek. And you've got some stats that you kind of coined up when you start looking at some head coaching stats in the history of where Jesup has played in the last few years.
Yeah, boy, I just kind of sat down on my phone once the boys went to bed, and I just kind of went to work. And that's something we'll kind of talk about throughout the night, talking about Joe Hadacek, the head football coach of Vinton Shellsburg, and kind of talking about some of the head coaches that have coached against Jesup in the last 13 years. We'll
get more into that here very shortly as our Jesup pep band, marching band, will make their way right in front of us as we will honor America with a playing of our national anthem. All right, playing of our national anthem by the Jesup High School Marching Band, decked out in their Jesup J-Hawk Hawaiian shirts. And we're set for football here in just about 4 minutes, a little over 4 minutes. But coming into this, and we welcome you in again as Jesup will be hosting Vinton Shellsburg tonight. PCM Monroe is going to win this district, Tim. West Marshall right now sitting in that second spot. Iowa Falls, Alden, and Union tied in that third and fourth spot. Then you're into Jesup and Vinton Shellsburg, and you're already talked through the playoff scenario, and that's something, ladies and gentlemen, as you're joining us tonight, we're going to be keeping an eye on and kind of noting what that is, because it means going into next week, and you've already dabbled in some notes of what you think is going to happen next week, but I'm not sure if you want to get into that, but we're prognosticating here a little bit. Yeah,
so once you get in the district play, one thing you start looking at is the point difference between your wins and losses. And one thing that you end up seeing here, especially against, so potentially tonight we could have a three-way tie with Iowa Falls, Union, and then Jesup. So Jesup takes care of business and does what they're supposed to do tonight. They're going to end up district play in 2-3. Union plays a tough West Marshall team, and if it goes West Marshall's way, you're looking at district record of 2-3. In Iowa Falls, right now sitting 2-2, playing powerhouse PCM, they could end up being 2-3 in district play. So long story short, what it comes down to is how much do you get beat by and how much do you win by, capping at. So if someone wins by 20 points, they just cap it at 17, plus 17. If you lose by 20 points, it's negative 17. You accumulate all those scores in district play, and then you get a raw number. And then with that, you try to compare it against what would be a three-way tie for third. So we'll see. We'll be keeping tracks on Iowa Falls and see how they do. We'll be keeping track on Union. And if the Jayhawks can take care of business tonight, Union keeps it close, but no less than 8. And then depending on how Iowa Falls does against PCM, they could be on the outside looking in. So it'll be very interesting to see how it goes, and as things kind of progress throughout the night, Nate and I can kind of talk about maybe what the future looks like. We don't want to put the cart before the horse. we still got to come out.
No, we do not.
Yeah, we still got to play football. We still got to get the W tonight, and then once you get the W, then it depends by how much.
Well, we have the coin flip took place, and had an option to have the seniors out there one last time on this home field, which is something special. And odds are this is the last home game for these seniors. Unless there's some real upsets in that postseason play when you're looking at where the seeds line up and getting to host. But here in the next 90 seconds, we'll see how this one starts off, as they will have Jesup will be the return team, as they will protect that north end zone, and Vinton Shellsburg is going to be kicking into that win, Tim.
Yeah, and that's kind of one thing you got to factor. If you win the toss, do you want the ball? Do you want to defer? And sometimes, I know when in my time as coaching, sometimes that's a factor. If you know it's going to be a little bit closer, you want to play the field position game. I always knew that the second quarter, I always wanted to be facing the scoreboard, so my quarterback could see the scoreboard as if we had to try to do something maybe on that last drive before half.
So it looks like we've got Preston back with is that Tice Larson back there, back to return. Yep. on the kick return, and kicking off is Cade Sutton, as he's set to go. This will be the 11th kickoff they've had in the season, and Tice will see it off the shoulder pad, and there's power coming, looking for a hole. Gets past that 15. They'll be taken back a little bit and spotted probably close to that 19-yard line.
Yeah, it's always so interesting when you see a little bobble or the ball hit the ground. KOR, kickoff return, is such a timing thing, and sometimes a little mishap or a little bobble like that really affects the timing. And instead of just trying to cut it up, hit it up in the hole, you're going to run into a couple unfriendly faces.
So we are set to go here in Jesup, and beautiful night for football. You know, you could say it's a little chilly, but we've not had the cold weather yet. We'll take this. Full moon, close to a full moon anyway, as we look off to the north and the east. And Jesup's going to see a loose ball, and Vinton is going to jump right on it right away. And deep in Jesup territory it's going to go. Not quite sure what happened there.
Yeah, it looked like a little little bobble on the mesh between the running back and quarterback there. Oh, no.
Yeah, just a little loose, trying to hand that off to Preston Youngblood.
Oh, boy, not a solid start. If I'm Vinton here tonight, I want to control the clock. I want to keep the ball out of the Jayhawks' hands as much as possible. Try to shorten the amount of plays that they can do in order to try to keep it as close as possible.
So Jesup gets the return, gets one down through, and it gets Vinton Shellsburg. They get that fumble recovered, and they will go on offense. And not too many turnovers they've had this year. 4 total interceptions, but as far as fumbles, not many, if any, as Jesup puts pressure on defense, and that one's going to go out of bounds.
Good start to try to figure out how the Jayhawks here are going to align to a rollout package. You could see, if you were kind of watching the running back there, a little wheel route, which that means the running back's running up the sideline after faking the pass pro. So good little test here for the Jayhawks. Kind of backs against the wall a little earlier than we'd like to start, but that's why we play the game. Yeah,
looking at how this team has been, give credits on defense. You're looking at Paxton McCone, Tice Larson right in there, Caden Lang, Max Soley. Abe Sullivan's really stepped up after his brother went out, and some other modifications in there. Last week, Andrew Devlin had a good game.
Yeah, a lot of Jayhawks stepping up here. Injury bug does happen to some other people, and it's not it's the next man up philosophy. Try to plug you in, try to make the reads a little bit simpler, try to maybe blitz you if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of snaps, or your football IQ just isn't where we want it to be, especially as someone who doesn't get all the reps out there.
So Colt Copen is the sophomore starting quarterback. He is 75 of 160 passing, 730 yards, 2 touchdowns. He'll run it just a little bit, but not with much success this year as they put one into motion. He's going to roll left side. There's pursuit in that backfield. And Jesup with a tackle, but tackling forward, that gives advantage to Vinton Shellsburg and sets up 4th down.
Yeah, so you've seen so far Vinton coming out more of a traditional set, kind of like you see what the Jayhawks do offensively. You saw him go 5 wide, empty backfield, no running back. And once again, you saw the sophomore quarterback on the roll. That's really tough to try to roll out to your non-dominant side, and probably some future of what we're going to see from the Vinton Shellsburg offense.
14 on that play clock. It is 4th down and 4, and they are going to attempt a 3-point field goal here. And they have not had much opportunity for this year, as they missed that one from about, what were they, 22 yards out, something like that? No.
9, 19, 7 back. 26?
26 yards.
I think.
So that will set Jesup up at the 15-yard line. Actually, they bring it out to the 20-yard line as Jesup's offense. Hopefully they have some things squared away here, and they can hang into that ball and march it down to that south end zone.
Good opportunity to start off with our strong running game and try to get us back in rhythm here. Ooh, a little high snap.
Youngblood kind of come on that left end. That pile keeps moving forward, and Jesup will get some yards, keeping that moving.
Yeah, you can see here it's a little colder. That ball firms up a little bit, and that's something, we had a little bit warmer weather than we traditionally have this week of practice. So center gripping the ball, Oshner gripping the ball a little bit differently, and it's going to be interesting to see if those snaps stay right about the chest level or if we keep kind of getting up above the head.
5 yards is what that will earn the Jayhawks. Treptow again at quarterback, takes that snap. Another handoff to Preston Youngboy. A fake handoff, brings it to Tice near side, cross the numbers.
Yep.
He's in and out. Nice
Vogel.
block by
Turn
Vogel.
Turn it up.
He's found his way in some open turf, but he's going to get snagged on defense by Vinton. And just a relief you could tell from Vinton Shellsburg, as give credit on that tackle to Reagan Selger, the sophomore, coming in and completing that.
Yeah, Tice Larson is a state track quality athlete. And, boy, if that guy from Vinton wasn't able to chase him down, he might be right in the end zone there.
First down sets it not quite into Vinton Shellsburg territory yet as it's spotted on the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. One on the far side, one on the near side. Quick shotgun. Preston steps outside that tackle and will get into Vinton Shellsburg territory, and that's a hefty gain for him.
Yeah, that's a nice, Preston's getting back in the rhythm. That's one of our keys for success. Last week, Preston carried the ball over 30 times. He's been averaging 21 carries a game. And as this game continues on, we'll mention some fun things that Preston's been able to do this whole entire season, especially eclipsing some of his dad's career numbers as a Jayhawk.
Spot that just inside that right hash. Oshner. Again, talked about him as center. And a quick handoff again to Youngblood. He's only going to maybe get 2 or 3 yards. Whether he'll make that first down or not, he might be a yard short as we reach 3rd down.
Nice hard run by the Jayhawks. Jayhawks controlling the line of scrimmage right now. Right now it's just kind of a big timing issue, just trying to, with our blocking scheme and trying to have Preston hit the hole correctly. And so as that game wears on, Preston will continue to run stronger and stronger.
Drew Munson comes in on this offense. Shotgun again near side. Abe Sullivan was split to the right side, but he'll come in and try and help cover on the block, and Vinton is narrowing in on that inner part of that line.
Nice job with the Jesup moving crew. You don't have to be devastating right now. You just got to keep being steady and consistent up front and wear down that defensive line.
Enough for that first down. Landon Vogel bringing the play in for this offense. Again, Ryan Treptow, 50 completions out of 97 tosses, 857 yards. Could very well get over 1,000 yards this season, get through this game. Very doable, 10 touchdowns on passing.
Nice.
Hard thrown near side. Vogel has it. It's going to take 3 Vinton Shellsburg players to bring him down.
Yeah, RT going for 1,000 yards, and that would be his first time passing for 1,000 yards since his sophomore season. As the game continues, Ryan has actually crept up into the career attempts and career rushing record as well, especially career touchdowns, which is kind of unheard of for a quarterback. But this dual threat from RT's ability to rush the ball and Preston's power provides a lethal 1-2 combo.
Another first down for Jesup. We're going to see that stat line increase. I already saw it. We got 3 or 4 first downs already so far.
Yes.
In this possession.
RPO.
Treptow has a little bit of time. Going to take it on his own. Past the line of scrimmage. Pass that first down marker. Finds the sideline at about the 15-yard line, it appears.
Nice job by Jesup wide receiver out there, especially as RT was trying to scramble around. Especially for you young Jayhawks at home listening, it's not a devastating block. It's getting your hands on the breastplate, keeping it within your body, and just trying to get in the way.
7:10 to go here in this first quarter. At Jesup tonight, I'm Nate Clayberg. That's Tim Sauer, Eric Clark on camera, Anthony Baugh running the controls up here in the Lorient Sabres press box tonight for our final home regular season game. Again, Jesup on the season at 3-4, 1-3 in district play, and a little bit of a challenge to try and move that ball, but they do have success, and they're going to pick up about 4 yards on that.
Yeah, one thing you can see from Vinton Shellsburg right now, really selling out to stop the run. We've had our pass protection has been okay. We've completed some very simple concepts right now to the wide side of the field, and Vinton knows they got to stop the run in order to hang in this game.
Yeah, and on that play, Preston hit that line, bounced back a little bit, and found his way more towards that outside, and ended up with that strong gain here. Still scoreless here in Jesup. High snap,
RPO.
Fake to Preston, and
We in?
Ball is going to be a touchdown, caught by Abe Sullivan.
Wow.
12-yard catch for that young man.
Nice job. Nice play call. Vinton Shellsburg really expecting a run there in that set, and then RT saw the outside linebacker kind of run commit, pulled it through it, and then Abe Sullivan with a solid reception.
So we will see Caden Lang come in for that extra point, and straight up through the goalposts. It is good. Dominic Delgadell on the hold. Extra point is good, and it is 7-0 as Jesup had a little bump in the road they had to get over early on after kickoff, and they found the end zone.
Yeah, just trying to pivot from here. trying to come out. There's like a batter standing in the batter box getting ready for a swing and kind of seeing a knuckleball and swinging and missing. So great opportunity for the Jayhawks, great response, and going to be interesting how they what we can do defensively coming up here.
So Vinton, we will see, as we talked about, their quarterback, but the rushing yards leader this year, Isaiah Schneider, another sophomore, 78 attempts, 190 yards, no touchdowns. He's caught 102 yards, 1 touchdown. Jacoby Johnson, also on the receiving end of things, he's been able to have 261 yards of receiving with 26 catches, but he's also their leading tackler as well. So, Vinton, give him credit. It's hard to go through a season like that with a winless season, get all the way to the end. And, I talked to McMartin about it. And, you come into the year, you have some thoughts, you have expectations, and those generally do change. Yeah,
Joe Hadacek is someone who's had an amazing record wherever he's gone. And, I've been in this situation where you're playing in this Week 8, Week 9 game, and it's kind of the end of the season. And, there's still football. There's still football for all the seniors here. And one last chance to lace them up.
Druschel on the return. Jesup will get the stop, as that will be marked right near that 25-yard line, as Jesup had a hard time containing him, but was able to see that tackle come in. Wyatt Renner, give him credit for it.
Nice job by the Jayhawks staying in their lanes, especially as the Vinton returner kind of bounced it out to the wide side of the field. Lane integrity is such a huge thing on kickoff.
Cobb again at quarterback. Jesup with their 3 down. There's that snap. Quick throw outside, going to be caught right near that sideline, pushing that first down.
Nice job.
And they will move the chains on it.
Nice job by Vinton there. Short, quick passes to try to get their quarterback in a rhythm. I think one thing we've seen over these last couple of weeks, the Jayhawks have solidified their back end of their defense, trying not to get anyone taken over the top on them. So, we saw that a little bit against Iowa Falls in those short, quick passes, and I would be shocked if Vinton Shellsburg tried to get away from that.
Alex Bramow, one of the seniors on this team. Not a lot of seniors. He goes into motion, comes to the near side, tries to get that block, and Isaiah Schneider is the ball carrier, and Jesup's defense will allow probably about 3, if not even 5 yards even, at least.
Yeah, that's so hard as a defense. You saw the Vinton Shellsburg individual come from their sideline, come back in a short motion, and then be one of the primary blockers on what looked like some type of counter tray play. And that can get confusing, especially when you're looking at your reads as a linebacker.
Jesup again, 2nd down and 5, facing Vinton Shellsburg to the near side. 1 set up far, 1 in that backfield. Quick down, and quarterback is going to try and hang on to it on his own. He's got some time in front of the line of scrimmage. Little quick pass on the sideline as coverage from Lang. And that ball will be caught on the near side. I think that was Schneider not Schneider that pulled that in. That is going to be caught by Jacob Becker.
Yeah, I really like some of the concepts that you're seeing from Vinton Shellsburg right now. You see the quarterback rolling to his non-dominant side, and then you could see maybe some of you are at home, hey, why didn't that outside linebacker run up and tackle the quarterback? Well, he's the conflict defender, so he needs to guard the flats and try to take away that and try to force that quarterback to run instead of running up and trying to make the tackle.
1st down. Vinton going to keep it to the ground. Little stutter behind that line, and there is too much of an opening for Jesup that they should allow, and it was the defensive backfield finally shut that down.
Yeah, great tackle, great pursuit from our back end there. Just a little soft in the middle right now. We need to kind of firm that up. One thing I think we've talked about this season is we need to do a little bit better job tackling, and potentially as we go into the postseason, that's got to be something we got to clean up.
Carson Hovey comes off the field. What are you seeing on this defense? We set up again 1st down at 10, this time in the 39. What are you seeing for Jesup?
Yeah, I'm seeing a 3-down defensive line. I'm seeing our 5 backers out there.
Missed opportunity for Vinton Shellsburg. A wide open Schneider just out in front of him where that pass was.
Yeah, so our defensive philosophy, from my perspective, not giving away any secrets here, is our defensive line is going to plug, and they're going to try not so much penetrating the defensive line, but they're going to try to eat up some gaps, eat up some double teams in order for our linebackers to be able to make clear reads. And our defense is set up for our linebackers to make plays. So if our defensive line is getting pushed back into the lap of our linebackers, it could potentially be a long night for our defense.
Defensive side of things, you're looking at Coach Sullivan down there, along with Brock Flaherty, trying to make some adjustments. Pressure in that backfield, and not quite to where Abe
right
can
there.
get it, but we see our first yellow hanky of the game.
Yep, you got intentional grounding. It looked like Vinton Shellsburg was going to try to do a fake handoff and go to the Vinton side, and obviously I think it was a broken play. So instead of trying to run and not have a flock of Jayhawks out there, just kind of threw it away. Now, are they waving it off?
Coach McMartin getting a sense of what took place down there.
Intentional. Oh. Knowledgeable. Okay.
So they will keep second down and 10 all right now, and then we're going to move that back.
So if you can hear Mr. Treptow in the background, he's saying there was an illegal man downfield. So, yeah, that tells me everything, that it was a run, it was a broken play, and quarterback tried to throw it away. But we kind of talked about this last week when there's about a 3-yard buffer that lineman can be downfield. And I think what ended up happening, we had some linemen, Vinton had some linemen go past that 3-yard gray area. And when you throw it, that would end up being a legal man downfield.
.428 as that thing gets set back. Back to pass.
Nice.
There's
Screen.
A lot of pressure. Devlin was on the move, and that will be caught pretty close to where it started. Make it third down.
Yeah, signs of a really good defense. As you could see there, it looked like we had an amazing pass rush from our defensive line, and no one was blocking them. So usually when you feel as a defensive line, you got to read and react, and, hey, you got to retrace your steps. Get back to the line of scrimmage, because as you could see, they tried to hit a middle screen. We did a wonderful job flushing that quarterback out, and then he tried to hit a secondary read on the Vinton sideline.
Break out of that huddle. Coppin again at quarterback. Jesup will spread their defense a little bit. Looking on the near side.
4 verts.
Going to move to that far along the Vinton Shellsburg sideline, and the officials are saying it was caught.
Oh, hats off to Vinton there. 4 vert concept. Quarterback moved out of the pocket, and a little bit of scramble rules from Vinton Shellsburg trying to readjust after they weren't hitting their landmarks, and an absolute laser of a pass.
Give credit on the reception. Jacoby Johnson knew where his feet were, knew where the sideline was as he caught that ball, setting up first down and 10 on the 27. And they will run it down the right side, and the ball is loose. And Jesup, we're going to say the ball went out of bounds. So does come out of bounds off of Vinton Shellsburg. And where will that ball get spotted?
I think if you fumble it forward, it is from when they last had possession, or maybe that's on 4th down.
So they will say second down at about 4 right now. A generous 4, maybe we'll say. But giving some confidence here to the Vinton Shellsburg squad, the Vikings.
Yeah, they're doing a really nice job. Calculated passes right now, limiting the amount of plays Jesup's running in offense.
Looking at a blitz. Here comes Jesup.
Oh, my gosh.
And found that opening, and Alex Bramow is the ball carrier as he'll move through that and be about 2 yards shy of that third down.
Yeah, looks like we had a run commit D blitz here. And what's going to be really important, especially as the game go on, we got to finish. I mean, that running back for Vinton Shellsburg was super low to the ground, and that's some hard-nosed football from Vinton Shellsburg.
3:22 to go here, still in the first period, first quarter. It started off pretty quick running the clock. Things have slowed down here just a little bit as we've seen the ball go in the air. Jesup in the white uniform, or actually Jesup in their all blues, trying to make some tackles and really struggling here to make some stops. This Vinton Shellsburg offense just keeps rolling.
Yeah, opportunity to make a play. You know, you go ahead and dive through the thigh boards here. You know, one thing I'll give to Vinton Shellsburg, they could come out here and kind of just lay an egg, but they have some power tonight to impact some other teams' playoff situation. And like I said, you still got to play the game.
Yeah, no matter what, they are not playoff bound, but I'm sure they'd sure like to shut down at least Jesup's chances of that. But that front line of defense is just struggling right now, and I'm sure Coach McMartin, Coach Sullivan just trying to figure out what they need to do.
Yeah, they're getting some really good movement on our interior defensive line. And like I mentioned before, if you see some things and you see a defensive lineman getting into your lap, that clogs up your reads. That clogs up your ability to pursue and get to the ball.
Second down at 6. That ball is going to have 1 yard between the first down and that goal line. And a quick handoff right side. There's an opening, and Devlin can't get him, but a touchdown does come in on a 7-yard run. Jesup has given Vinton Shellsburg, I believe, their 5th touchdown of the season.
Yeah, you just saw a little weak B-gap run there. That's always a very difficult part of a defensive coordinator to try to plan for the weak side B-gap, depending on your alignment from your defensive line. And good answer by Vinton Shellsburg, controlling the clock here. And let's see if they can notch it up here.
Extra point attempt comes up, and it is good.
Wow.
Cade
Nice
Sutton with an extra point, and Tim, it is tied up.
Yeah, this is I don't think the start that we envisioned, but that's why you lace them up. Right now, it's, you know, it could go either way. You know, we got to be strong on offense. We got to continue to run the ball and move them vertically. And, you know, I feel right now we're kind of balancing on a unicycle on a balance beam. It could kind of go either way. So if we want to do what we got to do tonight, we got to, first of all, we got to get the win, and then we got to create a little bit bigger difference as we get going forward.
So Jesup back to return, as many of these teams this year that have faced Vinton Shellsburg have had their kick return team out there only once. And now Jesup is going to be a statistic to that, having this will be the second time. And Jesup again tied up. And this implication again, Tim, I think we still need to be able to win by 17, right?
Yeah.
Plus,
to
help solidify this.
Yeah. So just a couple things. Number one, all Jayhawks have to win in order to get the 4th seed. Now, if they win by 17 plus, that helps us out in the playoff battle. One thing you're seeing right now, you're seeing PCM up 21-0 with 21 with 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
And that's going as expected.
Exactly. Thank you for my sideline reporter, Kelly Harold, giving me the updates. And you're looking at Union versus West Marshall, a 0-0 ball game with 8 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
So Vinton Shellsburg, Cade Sutton set to kick off, and that one will come right at the numbers at about the 20, and we will see Tice Larson get a single tackle put on him as Isaiah Schneider sprinted fast down there, and he was able to put Jesup in a spot where they need to now start deep in their own territory.
Once again, I kind of mentioned when the ball hits the ground, it can take a lot of funny bounces out here. Tackling any kid in open space is really difficult, especially tackling somebody like Tice Larson.
So we will begin deep in territory. We're about 5 yards behind where we started in that last series that ended up giving us an 80-yard reception
Just get in front of them.
Ownership to get to that end zone. And Jesup sees Tice Larson on the reception, trying to make up for what he had hoped to do on that return, and he comes out of bounds just shy of that 35.
Yeah, you see the Jayhawks doing a really nice job of attacking the flats. The flats are the point of the football field that is out by the numbers. Vinton Shellsburg is a cover 3 team where they try to defend the back third of the field. So I expect to see a little more RPO run pass option from the Jayhawks as they try to continue to establish their running game.
A young blood in that backfield. Quick handoff to Preston. He's going to tuck it, helmet down,
Keep
and
pushing.
He is going to need assistance from his teammates that just keep him on the field and close to Viking territory before he goes down.
Man, there's nothing better than that. You see your running back still fighting for yards, and you realize as an offensive lineman that play's not over. So you always hear, push the pile. And there's nothing better as an offensive lineman where you move someone against their will. And that's a huge momentum gain for the Jayhawks.
But you really have to be thinking here, we can counter with a touchdown, but you got to prevent Vinton from coming back again. So you want to solidify this, seeing how Vinton Shellsburg's offense did move as the Jayhawks sit up at 1st and 10, just again shy of that 50. And Preston with a little late handoff, going to get from Treptow, flag on the play, but Preston's going to roll past that first down marker, but most likely is coming back.
Yeah, what's really tough about that, I think there's a hold on the left side. I don't want to pick numbers. I don't know if that was JD out there. One thing I think as Preston was cutting it to the outside, I think JD maybe got his hands outside a little bit of the breastplate, and as you do that as an offensive lineman, it makes it a little bit easier for the back judge to throw the flag.
Just over 60 seconds until we hit that quarter break, as we are just about a half hour into this contest. Kickoff is set for 7:30. Fresh Soft got a game in tonight. I think that was that final 12-8?
Yeah.
Vinton Shellsburg getting the win tonight.
Yeah, the last quarter was really interesting. With 2.5 minutes, Vinton scored. Jayhawks got the ball back, turnover on downs.
Now here's Treptow looking downfield. No. Really a stretch,
Good.
but
Nice catch.
Abe Sullivan, he's got some stretch. Pulls it in, gets the first down, and he is in Viking territory. Got the reach on that.
Oh, my gosh. Tremendous loft on the ball from RT. I always get kind of, some bad dreams from Brett Favre throwing across his body on the
And that was all an arm throw. There was no legs. There was no chance for the hips and the thighs in that one. He had to throw it, especially with that arm that he had injured at Hudson.
Yeah, quick snap here.
And, give Preston Youngblood credit, where he started and saw action as a sophomore and into last year, and how far he's come, I would say in his football presence and his football ability to take hits get extra yards after touches.
Yeah, so Preston is someone who he played a little bit as a freshman with 8 carries. His sophomore year, he's the predominant back, getting almost 100 carries his sophomore year. Saw a little bit of a reduced role last year with about 60 carries, and now he is the man. He's over 160 carries this year, well over the career mark of 328 career rushing attempts.
So 1 yard shy of that first down as we will hit 0 on that first quarter clock, and Jesup will group up with their coaches and see how they can get this one in. Abe Sullivan with his first touchdown of the season got Jesup on the board. Vinton came back about 4 minutes later, 4 minutes 20 seconds later, and they were able to march that down to that north end zone to tie things up where we're at. And, Jesup just trying to stay alive here as we move through this 24 campaign. But yesterday, cross country.
Yes.
Conference meet, Jesup Golf Course, second meet of the year, and some pretty good showing, some season bests, some PRs out there too.
Awesome job by our cross country team at the conference meet. Our conference meet, our varsity girls finished 4th behind Denver and Sumner and the champions of Hudson. Our boys finished 3rd behind Denver and Olwine. A couple other things. Nathan Pint is ranked 19th in 2A. Boys team is ranked 14th. Mackenzie Wilson is ranked 14th as an individual runner in 2A and 16th as a team. As we progress throughout the night, depending on how things go, we can talk a little bit about the district qualifying meet and kind of what the expectations are that going forward.
So Jesup has the ball as they will march towards that north end zone. And they'll get past that 25-yard line as we switch things around, and Jesup will be going into that win now. Baxter McCone, one of the 12 seniors on this team, comes to the sideline. And Preston has had a pretty good season when you look at what he's been able to do, not just on offense, catching the ball, but in that backfield defensively too. First and 10. Play
Yep,
the right
there.
side. Vogel gets the hit, but leans forward, and he picks up about 5 yards.
Once again, that's going to, unless we see Vinton kind of change from their defensive formation of a cover 3. As you can see, they probably got 8 to 10 yards of a cushion on our outside wide receiver. So a little pitch and catch all night. We're going to try to probably continue to expose the outside half of the field in order to try to move the chains.
Clock moving, approaching 11 minutes. Halftime will honor the seniors on Jesup's band.
Buck sweep.
Tuck from Preston. He gets outside the hash marks, outside the numbers, and the flat keeps rolling forward.
He's good.
And we will see just shy.
Oh.
He will be marked down just shy of that goal line as he gets about a 20.5-yard carry. That's going to surely set up Jesup to be scored. And
he's down. He's down.
Knee went down, but I guess question, did that ball cross? But he gets up, but he looked like he came down hard in that left hand.
Yeah, it was, especially with the hard field, and, he's an absolute unit body mass-wise. So coming down on his hand probably doesn't feel good in this cold weather. Nice hard run.
Colder weather.
Colder weather, yes. Cold. Yeah, I'm over here in gym shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah, you're from Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So they will try and take it right away. And was that Drew Munson? Did they hand that to Drew and push it in?
Little tush push here. It looks, yep.
So they'll bring on the extra point team. Munson shifts over, and he takes it kind of wildcat right away under the snap, looking at the replay.
This is kind of something that Coach McMartin has in his bag of tricks. And I think last time the Jayhawks might have saw this is playoff game. Cresco, Kyle Bucknell did the same thing for the Jayhawks.
So 1 yard in, and the extra point goes up, and it is good. And Jesup, it is 14-7. But we have to hope that the Demons have been figured out on defense, and Jesup can keep building that margin as Caden Lang really came on early, and you can tell he's been working on that extra point.
Yeah. It's such, some people think that, it's just 1 point, it's just a PAT. Well, that adds up over the course of the year, and you got to have a solid 3 phases of the game in order to be successful. Offense, defense, and special teams.
So Jesup will go on to kick this off again. And that will bring, I assume Preston Youngblood will get those duties again. And Jesup cheerleaders having to jump that off with the 14 points out there. Again, looking to go back-to-back on victories after the win last week over Iowa Falls. Alden lost a tough one down at Union a couple weeks ago, 27-20. West Marshall, same thing, 45-13. West Marshall, a strong team. I think a lot of people didn't expect to see how they positioned in this district. They sneak into those rankings statewide as well, between 10 and 11 it seems like. And here comes Preston Youngblood. He'll kick things off for our Jayhawks. Boot that from the 40.
Oh, wow. Nice kick into the wind.
And that is going to take it into a touchback situation and bring that ball out. No chance to get that when you got that strong south wind, and he's got a strong foot on him.
Yeah, and people don't understand how hard that is actually to do and what a weapon that is. I've seen a couple kickers in my time to be able to do that, and I know it seems like a throwaway, but sometimes that can be a play off for your special teams. It's another 60-yard sprint that you don't have to run, so you can kind of hit the brakes and conserve the energy and get ready for your next defensive series.
So Vinton Shellsburg, the Vikings, setting up first down and 10 on their own 20-yard line. And they have one split to the near side and going to look for a quick pass that almost is going to get taken away by Tice Larson.
Man, that's so tough for Vinton Shellsburg to roll to the short side of the field and to try to be able to attack the sideline there. Tice, once again, we've mentioned how his speed and quickness, being able to recover from the wide receiver, getting to his spot, and excellent pass breakup for the Jayhawks.
10:44 here before halftime. Get band or perform. We'll honor those seniors. We'll have that for you here on the Jayhawks Sports Network. Thanks for everybody joining, whether you're following the Vikings or the Jayhawks or Just heard this was something fun to do on the internet. I got to think. If you talk about there's a point in the internet where things are fun and not fun.
Yeah.
I got to think we're above that line on the fun side.
I would think this is a worthwhile listen, and at least you can hear some good banter between me and you. And
we haven't talked barbecue yet. Do we got anything planned for the weekend? Or are we still working on that deck? Or what's the project in Sour House?
I think they're called. You take like a manicotti shell and you stuff it with cheese and noodles and you wrap it in bacon. So I think that's on the menu for the sours this weekend.
Maybe use some bacon zest on that bacon that you're going to go after.
Thank you for that, by the way. Excellent gift for some bacon zest.
If you don't know what bacon zest is, go ahead and Google that. Get yourself some. Quick jaunt through. Give credit to Alex Bramo. Saw the opening, the senior did. Moved the chains for the Vikings.
Just a little score update here. PCM 28, and then Iowa Falls 0 at end of first quarter. And then what you're seeing from Union and West Marshall right now, it's still 0-0 second quarter. And West Marshall is marching into Union territory with the ball at the 33-yard line. So big point of emphasis to we got to take care of business here, but just trying to provide some updates with some stuff around the district.
Ryan Treptow in that safety position as he comes in, and Vinton Shellsburg getting a little more challenge off that Jesup line. We're going to pick up about 2 yards with that carry.
Super nice job from our outside linebacker there to try to pin it back in and be that force player. Nice job by Tice Larson to try to turn it into a host of Jayhawks.
Isaiah Schneider, leading rusher this year. Jacoby Johnson leading on the receiving. So bring 3 receivers to the near side, 1 on that far. And we will have a quick shot out to that flat on that far side. There was coverage there, but that pass going to be just a little short.
Yeah, I think it's a traction issue out there, with the lack of moisture we've had this football season. It's a little bit harder to get your footing. Are you wearing 7-stud cleats or wearing molded cleats? And I think a lot of guys like molded cleats instead of the old school 7-stud, and sometimes that you don't get the traction that you want out in the football field.
Johnson was the intended receiver there. Low snap, has time to throw it, and is going to be caught. Bramo with the catch, and give credit, Jesup making the stop where they needed to, and I think Cavalier was in on that stop. But shy of that first down, 4th and short.
Once again, defensive line got a little too eager to try to sack the quarterback. Absolutely got tattooed at the 40-yard line. So kind of pivotal decision. What's Joe Hadachek going to do? Looks like he's keeping his offense on the field, and this could be a huge momentum swing for the Jayhawks.
Give him credit for taking the effort and giving confidence to his offense. They've been able to move that ball, but Vinton's going to go ahead and say, we want a timeout. Let's think through this. We've got him. You got 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
Both teams do. You might as well see what else can happen.
Yeah, definitely a point to talk about here with your staff. You come out in a certain look and maybe, hey, I don't like Jesup's alignment to what we have out there. I don't think they're reconsidering if they're going to punt instead of going forward here, just because they want to try to stay neck and neck here. But or maybe you didn't like a certain person was in that you didn't like having in because everyone has different sets of skills and abilities. So, be interesting to see what Vinton comes out here. I fully expect them to come out and try with their offense instead of trying to play the field position game, like you said, with 3 timeouts.
So Vinton, again, they've been able to score, and just kind of looking through this, as far as what Vinton Shellsburg this year, they've lost by an average of 40.1 points, have given up 44.4 on average, and have only been able to get on the scoreboard a little over 4 points on average per game. And but that's energy. You get you could be down by 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. You get a touchdown, you get some energy, and at this point in the game, that might get you some momentum as they keep continuing
nice
on,
tackle.
moving that ball. And Isaiah Schneider, the sophomore, powers it through for another first down.
Yeah, Nate, you nailed it when you said that. You know, I've been on some teams before where you don't score a lot the whole entire season, and everything is special unless you're like PCM and scoring 60 points a game. And those are things you can build off of. So those, hey, maybe we only scored 5 touchdowns last year, and as you can continue to add some momentum going into the future.
First down, not quite to Jesup territory just yet. They're going to do the handoff, and really that back is finding opportunities to gain some yards. He ends up with 2 there, and I don't know if we'll see. Have you seen any adjustments on defense? We saw some of that change up a little bit last week against Iowa Falls Alden, where they were bringing a linebacker in down.
Yeah, so obviously on that 4th down, you saw our linebacker come up and put his hand on the ground to act as a 4th defensive lineman. I don't think there's really any more adjustments you got to make. I don't foresee Vinton Shellsburg kind of doing anything different either. You know, that halftime is going to be – those halftime adjustments are where you really make your big changes or your pivots that you're going to see in the second half.
Johnson with that catch, and will get out of bounds, but does move the chains. And this is something, yeah, the offense is clicking, but the defense is helping Vinton click a little bit as they move the chains and get into Jesup end of the field, looking for that south end zone. And they will – what they're doing, they get that ball quick and they get it off quick when they're on the receiving end.
Yeah, one thing you see from our corners right now, we're given about an 8-yard cushion, and as soon as the ball snap, we try to get into our drops. So you're looking at probably a 10 – oh, boy, sorry, I missed that. About a 10-yard cushion. Those quick out routes or those quick curls are allowing Vinton to move the chains.
Ball intended downfield for some receivers. Abe Sullivan there to play some interference a little bit, but you know, the quarterback he dropped that right off the snap, is able to cover it. Kaupin, and just threw it downfield, hoping someone was going to get it.
Yeah, once again, everything comes down to timing. If you've got a center that you're having bad exchanges, you're having short snaps that are up by the helmet, I mean, everything's done with rhythm and timing. And that little, for instance, was something that affected Vinton Shellsburg.
Bring that runner into motion right to Nearsa to the far side. Schneider, he sets up off that end and gets the momentum, gets the handoff, and gets 6 yards.
A good hard run. This has been, Vinton hasn't had a lot of success running the ball this year, and they're really testing our Jayhawks right now and their ability to stop the run. So I expect, especially as our backs maybe get a little bit closer to the wall, them to bend and not break.
It is 3rd down and 4. You see that on the 35-yard line, heading to the south.
Outside shoulder.
Bring
That's
that to the outside. It gets outside of Youngblood, but they do see the flag on the field about that 40-yard line as Kaupin hang on to that, or Kaupin. Looking for someone downfield, but he takes it on his own, and Preston knew it happened. Otherwise, that's why he kind of pulled back on his pursuit, it appeared.
Yeah, so Preston's role in that play was try to be to the outside of the quarterback. He's contained is what we call it. But he did a nice job fighting outside, and then you could see, I think it was number 7 or number 4, got his hands outside the breastplate of the shoulder pads and made it an easy call for our men in black and white.
Sadler will come out, bring Carson Hovey in on that front side, along with Devlin.
This down distance here, I could definitely feel a halfback screen, wide receiver screen. We've been kind of over pursuing up front from a pass rush standpoint. So if we feel that super early release, we got to retrace and try to clog up that quarterback's reads.
Really looking at a quick pass, and they find the opportunity as that ball is caught quickly. And Caden Lang came to cover, but it was going to be caught by Bramo, I believe.
That's a heck of a throw from Vinton Shellsburg quarterback. You're on the opposite hash, and you're completing a pass to the other side of the numbers. So that's a heck of a completion. That's an excellent tackle by the Jayhawks, and going to be interesting to see what Vinton Shellsburg does here on 4th down.
Xavier Greenlee, actually, the receiver on that, as he'll break out here at the near side, along with Schneider. And they're having some success in the air, and going to go downfield, and Abe Sullivan tried to get his hand in the way, and it's a 36-yard pass play with 4:48 to go, and Vinton close to tying this thing back up one more time.
Yeah, you could see there Abe was in really good position, kind of bit on a little bit of a stutter from the Vinton Shellsburg wide receiver, and it was a pretty good pass from Vinton, and then goes the way of the for Vinton Shellsburg.
Johnson, the receiver on that, and they will attempt the extra point once again. Up and through the uprights, and we have another tie game again, 14-14, and this is not playing into the playbook that we need for Jesup right now.
You know, this is really tough as a coach. On paper, you're supposed to be the heavy favorites, and you know, trying to tell your team that, hey, we need to come out and play our brand of football. And right now, you're seeing Vinton Shellsburg coming up. They're not going away quietly. And so this is a great opportunity for us to capitalize going into halftime here. You know, you don't have to get it all for your next offensive drive in one play. Slow, methodical, try to get down the field, take some shots at the end, and try to go into halftime with a lead.
So Jesup will come out to return for the third time, and do I dare say this is the most kickoffs that Vinton Shellsburg has had all season?
You know?
Well, I guess depending where things lined up. I guess there are 3, so looks to be at least 2
right.
Has been per game. So Jesup, they get in that record book, I guess.
You know, for Vinton Shellsburg, last game of the year, can't hold anything back, right? So put it all out there and try to see what you can have happen for your seniors.
And tied up at 14 after that 26-yard pass play. And now Jesup back to return, and Cade Sutton will line things up as his 13th kickoff of the season.
Nice kick.
And that one is going to come near side. Tice Larson's going to see where that comes.
Nice job. Throw it.
And
throw the flag.
He is going to
that's incorrect, I think.
He's going to –
sorry.
Well, he got it, and he laid on it with his feet out of bounds.
Okay. So,
I guess go back and describe what you were thinking there.
I know you all don't have replay at home. Tice, being a very heady player, when his foot is out of bounds, he's the extension out of the sideline. So they threw it. Okay. So you've maybe seen that a handful of times in the NFL. Tice tried to do it, I think, earlier in the year as well. As he steps out of bounds, he becomes the sideline. So him by touching it, therefore, becomes a kick out of bounds and moves Jayhawks even closer to the end zone.
That is a very heady player right now to think about that. I suppose you're at the point of knee it, pick it up, or do that.
And, you know, and maybe you're thinking, Tice, oh, this is going to go out of bounds, and it just stopped and was dead.
Because he very well, if he would have picked it up 5-10 yards at most. And
yeah, nice play. And some of that comes down to knowing what you're doing as a player, but another part is that's coached. I mean, your coaching staff talks about these interesting scenarios and opportunities to use that in a game.
Treptow with that snap, looking downfield.
Nice run.
He's going to tuck it on his own. Right into some tacklers as he backs in and down about the 45-yard line as Vinton Shellsburg will set back on defense, and Treptow quickly looking to the sideline to see what play is going to come in, and Jesup's going to need all the time they can get for this one.
Excellent run. I personally would have liked RT to slide, but with that, RT moves 5th all-time in career rushes. I know he's had a couple more tonight, but he's probably up to 280 career rushes in his time as the Jayhawks signal caller.
And there's Preston Youngblood. Comes around that far side, just inside the numbers, and should get another first down. As give credit on the tackle, Tate Drushel in on that, sophomore for the Vikings.
Nice job by Jesup wide receivers coming out here. Like, part of being a wide receiver is, I want to catch the ball, I want to score the touchdowns. But if you want to play on the field, you got to get out there and you got to be able to block. Nice job by Paxton McCone getting his hands inside the breastplate and taking Vinton Shellsburg guy where he need to go.
3:45 rolling until halftime. Had some receivers going out, but Preston Youngblood stays on his feet, continues to train through the middle.
Nice run, nice hard run. That's trademark Jesup football right there. Controlling the sticks. You know, we've only taken off 40 seconds from the game clock, so absolutely no hurry. I expect to see RT maybe try to get that play clock down just a little bit more to try to eat away as much clock, so Vinton has very little time if they get the ball back.
Play clock approaching 10 seconds.
Nice job. Way to wait.
Treptow watches that clock, handoff in that backfield, and here comes Caden Lang. Shoulder down, moving forward.
Oh, boy, I haven't had Caden in class. I have him now, but I haven't been in class in a long time, and he is, boy, just so low to the ground, such a powerful athlete. And I don't think we've called his name rushing the ball recently, but that's fun to watch. Kind of a slashing running back, and you see Preston with the power and the speed, and great comp there on top of Preston and RT, a great compliment to Jesup's running game.
Yeah, Preston Youngblood on the sideline right now, not really being attended to, but Lang is going to get the nod again, and he is so low to the ground that he can find his way through. A little lower center of gravity than Youngblood has as he's approaching that goal line.
I wish that we could show the all-22 version, but that would take 20 extra people to run the Skyline camera. It's just such a thing of beauty as Jesup moving crew doing a wonderful job of opening up holes and excellent patience being showed by Caden Lang.
Second down and goal on that 1 yard line. Treptow, another handoff. Lang, he's going to get caught behind that line of scrimmage and bring it back a little bit, and it'll be third down and goal.
Nice shot by RT, waiting down to about 13 seconds on the play clock as the play clock resets at 35 seconds. Run commit here from Vinton Shellsburg. Try to keep Jesup out, and, as that clock ticks under 2 minutes, third and goal, see what the Jayhawks got here.
Seavers near side, 2 on the far. Lang still in that backfield. They'll bring Jesup with a flag.
False start.
As that will move them back a little bit.
Oh, maybe, I don't know if Tice moved a little bit there. I don't necessarily think that's awful, what just happened. That gives us a little more room as the field condenses. It gets harder and harder to call a couple plays. Yes, I'm not saying you need to get penalties, but it gives us a little more breathing room to run some different concepts on offense.
Lang in that backfield, and a timeout is wanted. Ryan Treptow will call that, and head coach Jacob McMartin will make his way out near that 20-yard line, meet with this offense. And, looking at this game and the previous games, it really I feel like got bit. It was on the big plays.
Yes.
We've not seen maybe the big play yet, other than maybe the 26-yard pass play to the end zone.
So the couple of games that we've called this year together, you've seen some big plays. And so what a big play is categorized as is a play that happens over 20 yards. We saw Preston's big run last week. And right now, a lot of our stuff it's been short. Nate, you talked about the big pass play. And usually a team that can get 3 big plays or 3 plays over 20 yards statistically has a higher percentage of winning than the team that allows that. So if you allow 3, so like sometimes on a hit chart you may say, hey, we want to have less than 3 big plays. And teams that give up those big plays are usually a team with not a favorable result. Wind it.
Jesup able to move the ball pretty well to this point. Abe Sullivan, the only one split out, and Treptow rolls to that far side, looking at the end zone, and ball was seemingly intended for Drew Munson, and it's thrown low, which brings up fourth down. And we look to the sideline to see what the coaches are going to decide.
Looked like we had 2 outs. We got hit in the hands, and decent concept right there. Not a bad play call rolling out to Ryan's dominant side. Best opportunity to try to get a completion. And I like what the Jayhawks are doing here, not trying to trot out the field goal team and going for it on 4th and goal.
High snap. Treptow looking around, has time. He's got pressure.
Scramble rules.
3 on him.
Yes.
Back of the end zone, and Abe Sullivan gets a 7-yard reception. Touchdown number 2 for Mr. Sullivan.
Wow, just an excellent job by Jesup's offensive line. We did get a little pressure, RT not panicking, keeping his feet set, reverse rollout, looking for the C gap to get outside for the release, and then an easy throw to Abe Sullivan for a touchdown.
So that'll bring Caden Lang in again for that extra point attempt. And that will be good. Jesup 21-14 is where we're sitting at right now, but going to the locker room, there's going to be a lot of conversation on what this defense looks like. But, I'll go back to maybe it was last week. No, I think it was the Union game where Coach said they really did not talk much about changing setups or formations on defense. They were talking about tackling. They were talking about hitting. That's what they needed to talk about at half, and that came back, and it was just a little too late for Union.
Yeah, that's always tough because sometimes you look at your scheme, you look at your game plan, you look at the X's and O's, and, man, I've been guilty of saying this, hey, guys, we just got to be better. We got to be tougher. And those aren't sometimes the best coaching cues, but it's like, hey, we're in place, or you're in the right spot. We just got to rally around the ball. We got to be taking people out the thigh board instead of trying to make shoulder tackles. A lot of time here for Vinton Shellsburg. 3 timeouts, 2 timeouts.
Yep, 2 each.
2 timeouts, 70 seconds. Where's the wind at? Slight breeze. We'll see.
It shifted more out of the east a little bit.
So we'll see what Preston can do here, hopefully to pin them deep and try to make Vinton go the length of the field here before halftime.
And I didn't see exactly what happened, that they pulled Preston Youngblood out of that backfield from the running spot and moved Caden Lang in there. But he was on the sideline here through that last series, as that will sail into the end zone for the touchback once again. And Jesup's defense back on the field and hopefully looking to make some stops just like they did on that first series at Vinton Shellsburg.
Yeah, so Vinton has some nice stuff they can try to do here. But you don't want to try to be too cute. With Jesup still having 2 timeouts, if you try to go out pass, and you only take 15, 20 seconds off, that gives Jesup another opportunity to try to get ahead on the scoreboard.
Get a number of Jesup players, playing on both sides of that ball. So, that presents a challenge too when you can't really pull your defensive players together when the offense is out there to try and talk through some adjustments or some changes you might need.
You see at some of the bigger schools, sometimes they have TVs on the sideline. They have something called Huddle Sideline where you can actually pull up your last drive. You can talk through things. And sometimes for our Jayhawks, the changes or the pivots that you want to make are in that brief break that you get on special teams. So that's why the halftime talk is so important because, like you said, Nate, most of these guys are playing almost every single snap.
2nd down and 4 is where this sets up for Vinton Shellsburg again. Vinton Shellsburg looking for that 1 win on the season, and I'm sure they'd like to ruin a senior night here in Jesup and close out Jesup's season. But the Jayhawks, I'm sure that'll be a topic of discussion when they end up in the shed, the maintenance shed here at halftime.
Yeah, it's we still got to come out. We're not playing. I feel like we're a little out of rhythm. Offensively, we're getting on track. Defensively, Coach Sullivan's going to get these guys all fired up and where they need to be. So, for a run game that hasn't been so strong for Vinton Shellsburg this season, they're establishing the run. And what we need to do a better job of this second half is taking the run away.
Greeley here to the near side, and they're going to hand it off again. And that pass or that run by Bramo, the senior, and it's going to move the chains, set up another 1st and 10.
Chains get set. A little hurry up from Vinton Shellsburg here.
They'd like to see something here before halftime. Throw it up in the air. And Paxton McCone really kind of dancing on the coverage, but pass play is caught by Jacoby Johnson. Junior on this squad at 26 catches, 261 yards, 1 touchdown coming in. 42 was his longest. And we'll see a flag and I think a full start on the offense.
Yeah, so on that last play, what you saw, Preston was in rhythm with their wide receiver. He was right there. Looks like the turf monster got him a little bit. That stumble allowed the Vinton Shellsburg wide receiver to air up and to secure the catch. You see a little tempo from Vinton Shellsburg right here. A little bit harder for the defense to get their call in. Usually more times than not when something like that happens, you call a base just so you can get guys lined up correctly.
Bring 2 to the near. Two receivers on that far side, too. Plenty
Get
of
there.
opportunity for that quarterback to try and air it out, and it is turned over.
Uh-oh.
Nice interception by Paxton
Go.
McCone.
Go, Paxton.
Dances that sideline, and he's out about the 46-yard line. Jesup takes over on down.
So what you saw here is Vinton Shellsburg, quarterback, tried to put a little too much loft on that ball. If you currently look at the American flag, there is a very stiff wind that we didn't see that. That ball hung up just a little bit. Excellent for senior Paxton McCone to sorry I don't have his career stats here for an interception and, a very impressive return as well.
But this is, you got 24 seconds, and this isn't one that you just feel like, you're up by a touchdown.
Right.
You really need to see if you can make something happen here in this 24 seconds the way this game is going.
Yeah, so what you're seeing right now is kind of a cover 4, maybe a prevent 8 kind of thing. 2 trains of thought, nice wheel route from the Jayhawks, secure the catch, get out of bounds.
Preston kind of bobbled a little bit, had the opportunity, pulls it in, gets out of bounds, stops that clock at 19.
Yeah, so I think with 19 seconds left here and 2 timeouts, you realistically got 3, maybe 4 plays. You could have either just ran the clock out there, but we're in a pretty good position right here offensively. See if you can get a little bit closer. Like I said, probably 3 or 4 more plays coming up and see if the Jayhawks can capitalize on a turnover from Vinton Shellsburg.
Drew Munson will bring the play in. Munson had a 1-yard touchdown Wildcat run in. And Jesup will take a timeout, their final timeout. Actually, no, that'll be their second timeout. 19 seconds to go, and why not?
Right. Yeah, and so it's very pivotal here, depending on what you're trying to do coming up here. Maybe you didn't like the look. Maybe you have a alignment that's incorrect, and especially here, you don't want to go back 5 yards. Burn your timeout. You still got 1 in the bank. And then I still stand by my statement. You still have another 3 to 4 plays. You're going to look here for the Jayhawks, probably try to move the ball through the air a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised you saw Vinton Shellsburg try to cover the sideline a little bit more and try to have Jesup burn that last timeout if there's something in the middle of the field.
So that ball spotted in Viking territory. Again, you see it there in that 46-yard line. Halftime, we'll honor our band. They'll also get the opportunity to perform, honor the seniors. Second down, less than 20 seconds as we said here. And Jesup really looking to try and have a 17
defense
point advantage in this one, and just 1 second off the clock as that flag was thrown.
Offside.
So that will...
1 more second. They should have 19. That's what Jacob's turning around and telling our crew up here, I think.
So I hear the beeps. I'll see 19 seconds if that goes up on the clock, which is going to be crucial. 21-14, Jesup with the advantage. And Jesup scored first, but then Vinton Shellsburg responded. Jesup scored. Vinton Shellsburg responded. Jesup scored, and then...
19 on the game.
And then Jesup able to get
There we go.
An interception that sets us up where we're right now. And it was 7-7 after the end of the first quarter.
Oh, no.
Pressure
Good
on
step up, Preston.
Treptow.
No. Wow. Tuck
And
it.
he's going to have to try and take it on his own, and he will probably try and call a timeout really quick with 12 seconds to go. And Jesup will have that as they move the chains. Sets up potentially 2 more plays.
Yeah, nice job by RT stepping up in the pocket there. That's going to buy him another 3/4 to a second. Preston did a wonderful job acting as a speed bump from the blitzing linebacker. And then, instead of throwing away, and I know we had to burn our last time out here, but good job by RT to getting up. I would have liked to see, once again, a slide because I don't want to see 14 off on the sideline here. But I would say if you can get out to the passing concept that's out by the sideline, you probably have another 2. I don't think 3 plays, but I've been wrong before.
So taking that timeout opportunity, work through it. Again, Jesup with playoff implications here. Is that a 0 or is that still?
No, it's zeros.
I don't know if that was 8-0 or 0-0. Look at the Union score as they're facing West Marshall tonight.
I think
that's at Union.
Yeah, so I think I think both teams have missed a field goal. They've kind of been playing the field position battle. Update from the PCM game with 1 minute and 50 seconds left in the second quarter. PCM 48, Iowa Falls.
So that game
0.
is where we need it to be. This
Right.
game, not quite yet, and the Union game, not quite yet.
That second half of this West Marshall Union game, as we're keeping tabs on this, we're expected to talk a little more about.
There is Treptow's pass incomplete. 8 seconds is where we're sitting right now. He had 8 seconds on that play clock as well to get that off, and a receiver a little further downfield than Treptow was going to have it, as that was intended for Paxton McCone. He had triple coverage on him.
Yeah, that would have been tough. I mean, the time stops for moving the clock. We had to come up and spike in time to get one more play. You see a cover 4, 8-man drop right now from Vinton Shellsburg. I think RT is going to roll out here, try to buy him some more time and heave it for the end zone.
He's got pressure. He runs, throws it right at that line of scrimmage. And the clock hits 0.
No.
And he is going to be 1 yard shy. Wow.
No.
1 yard shy of hitting that end zone.
Nice job by RT. Nice laser throw. Oh, boy, they were there.
And he needed one more second maybe on that play, on that game clock. One more second on that game clock to try and maybe get out of bounds and go quickly, but they came together. They came together, Coach, trying to figure some things out there, and kind of see where some things set up as it's halftime here in Jesup, as the Jayhawks had Abe Sullivan. Give him credit. 2 touchdowns tonight. We've got new names on the scoring sheet tonight between Munson and Abe Sullivan.
I like hearing Preston and RT and Tice's name, but I think that's a big part of a program, not only relying on your studs, but also getting some other guys in the mix, because if you want to try to make a deep playoff run, you're going to see that happen.
So Jesup will head to the locker room in the maintenance shed, try and work through what they've been able to do here in this first half and what they can do in that second half, as I think coaching staff still wants to have a conversation with the officials. And, we kind of watched it on our quasi-replay system that we have up here, and that clock ran out for where they were sitting at.
Yeah, so I think what Jacob's trying to argue here is the catch happened with 1 second left. He's probably arguing that the chains weren't set instead of having a runoff, or, without a pylon cam. We're not there yet here in 2A football. But seeing if he broke the plane, and that's what I'm guessing the conversation is with Coach McMartin and the referees right now.
So we have the clock rolling here, and as soon as we hear PA announcer Darren Treptow begin, we will honor tonight's seniors as far as those on the band, and then they'll actually get to perform here at halftime as well. But again, Jesup needs to win here by at least 17.
Right.
We need PCM Monroe is dominating Iowa Falls Alden right now.
Yep.
That's 1 out of 3 that are checking, and we need to see some scoring down happening in Union, but we need that to be on the West Marshall side of things.
Yeah. So number 1, we got to win. Number 2, we got to win by plus 17. Right now, obviously, this is a very
talking to make the playoffs or qualify playoffs for next week.
Very interesting game for us. At least there's some offense. Then you turn over on Huddle Fan, and you can go watch Union and West Marshall, and it's a 0-0 ball game. We're not too far. The home game is at Union, and so the weather isn't a really big factor, maybe other than the breeze. But
all right, we'll turn things over and honor our seniors on the band.
Favorite memory for Dan is just land at the state basketball tournament. His future plans include attending Iowa State University in Toronto. Next is Neil Michaels, son of Nick and Henry Michaels. Neil's siblings include Maya, Helena, Maggie, Joey, Brianna, Rebecca, Avery, and Katia. Neil is involved in the band and Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to ride the wave of nostalgia as the Jesup marching band takes you back to the golden era of surf, fun, and fun under the direction of Vinton. The band is sporting their new Hawaiian shirts, courtesy of the Jesup Weekly Club. You can get your own shirt at the Hawks Club. The band is in the stand on the legendary sounds of the beach boys. Tonight we're bringing the beach to you with a high energy tribute featuring 3 of the most iconic hits from the Kings of California songs. Let's start off with the upbeat tribute classic, Fun Fun Song, that's sure to get your energy going. mistake, we can almost feel the sand between your toes and the front of your face.
All right, welcome back on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. I'm Nate Clayberg. Tim Sauer there, the voice you hear. Eric Clark on camera. And Anthony Baugh is on our master control tonight as we are from Lorient Sabres press box, our last regular season home game regular season game period for our Jesup J-Hawks. Again, coming into this game, facing Vinton Shellsburg, who is winless on the season in district play and in regular season play overall. Jayhawks 3-4 overall, got the early win against Wapsie Valley, and O-line got a win last week against Iowa Falls Alden. And now it is wait and see on the playoff front as we're still scoreless down with Union and West Marshall, and a huge advantage still for PCM Monroe facing Iowa Falls Alden is what we're hearing.
Yeah. Oh, that's coming back. Okay, I'm sorry. Watching two games.
Let's get in this game,
Yeah,
Tim.
sorry. I'm in a laser focused here. Statistically speaking, if there's we make the playoffs, there's some upsets. I think we could maybe get a second or third round game if there's some major stuff. It's high school football. Anything can happen to a degree. But, yeah, we got to come out here. We're kicking off. This is going to be a huge tone setter here for Vinton and Jesup. Can Jesup's defense be a little more stingy? That bend don't break defense. Can Vinton establish the run game, only being down 7 points here, so they don't have to do anything too fancy. But Vinton kind of executing their game plan, keeping it close, keeping the clock moving, and that's going to be really hard for our Jayhawks to try to get to that sweet spot of continuing to close the difference in district standings.
So Preston Youngblood has the win that he's facing, and
lower.
Vinton Shellsburg with the return, and one missed tackle is going to take another 5 yards, and Vogel looked like he was in on that stop, along with Tice Larson, as that ball will be spotted just shy of that 30-yard line.
Yeah, weird. The ball just kind of died right about the 21, 22-yard line. One missed tackle, and you saw a couple Jayhawks rally to the ball to make the tackle. And that's one thing we keep talking about. We got to finish the play. We got to be able to finish the tackle instead of having some Vinton Shellsburg individuals bounce off.
So just underway here in the third quarter, as Vinton has given Jesup's defense a fair amount of challenge this year, this game. And Jesup really proved a stop here last time they had the ball with an interception. And Jesup, if you weren't on right before halftime, Jesup fought it all the way down to that half-yard line seemingly. Clock ran out. There was question, did the ball break the plane in the end zone or didn't it? So
so what you saw there, Coach McMartin, so I got some inside information. What you saw is Coach McMartin was the official in the middle of the field signaled touchdown, and the guy on the sideline signaled that he was short. And from our eyes on the sideline, Zach Knutson, he said he was short. So
they will take that handoff, bring it out that right side, and Tice Larson, he will get the tackle right about that 35-yard line. That moves the stick. About third down and about 5 with that carry. Clock continues to roll. And Jesup with the advantage, 21-14 right now. Got the Norby boys in here. Got my nephews coming to check and see what's going on up here. Clock is moving.
Third down here.
Stack up front. Quick. Goes that far side. Moving it forward is Coppin, and he will hang on to it, but it's enough for a first down, and there's some excitement on that sideline for Vinton.
Yeah, Vinton Shellsburg doing a great job of kind of adjusting their passing concepts. Instead of having their quarterback between the tackles, rolling out, manipulating the pocket, getting a little bit more time to try to get a little bit cleaner read on offense.
Wind has shifted back between the south and the southeast a little bit. Again, I would say this is the coldest game we faced all year, which is weird. And Vinton Shellsburg finding opportunities against Jesup, and it gets into that backfield. Abe Sullivan right in there along with Paxton McCone, but that's about an 8-yard pickup.
Nice job by the Jesup defender to try to be the force player out there and have the running back from Vinton Shellsburg have a change of direction. The really tough part there is we didn't really have anyone to clean up the alley, which is in between the heart of the defense and the force defender, and allowed Vinton Shellsburg to inch a little bit closer to a first down.
Anticipate a run here quickly. Cobbin again in that backfield. Quick snap, rolls far side. He's looking downfield. Pressure from Preston, and he's going to throw that one out of bounds.
Yeah, nice job. I think we're seeing this little adjustment here from Coach Sullivan. I think we're seeing anytime we see a rollout, we're going to send our outside linebacker. Yes, we're going to vacate the hook to curl zone, but that's going to create a little distress for Vinton's quarterback to try to hustle up his read.
Cavalier coming in from the sideline defensively in that linebacker's spot. 49-yard line is where that's placed. Just a yard shy of that first down. As they break out of the huddle with 8 seconds to go on that play clock.
Vinton taking a little bit of time here to get out of the huddle.
Quick snap, bringing on that far side. They are not going to get that first down. And you're going to get a stop for loss, which very well might be one of the first times we've seen that tonight.
Yeah, nice job by Drew Munson getting his read, trying to scrape across the offensive line that was trying to get to the secondary level. A nice solo tackle from Drew. As you can see, as he gets up, he's a hard hat, lunch pail type guy, not super celebratory. And first time we're going to see Vinton punt tonight with the wind.
So an advantage that Jesup really needed, which I'm actually honestly surprised they're not going for it, sitting in the situation they're in. But again, that wind behind, and it's going to be a fake.
Yep, nice.
He's going to take it on his own, crosses that line of scrimmage, and going to see a first down, but no flag is thrown. Or do we see? Or is it on? No, there is a flag right there on the other side of that 50-yard line.
On the wide side, nice concept from Vinton Shellsburg here. Number 2 went out, and they had the first down. The number 2 was right in the breastplate, and the problem is he had his feet were down underneath him. And I think that was Tice that bulldozed them, and he pulled them back. So that's clear as day, holding call on Vinton Shellsburg, and now I think you got to see Vinton Shellsburg punt.
Well, what you thought was a silver lining for Vinton Shellsburg, right when I say that I was surprised they were going to kick it, they were saying, no, we're not going to kick it.
Yeah, you could have gone either way there. Try to kick it, do field position, and Coach Hadachek trying to go in his bag of tricks to catch the Jayhawks sleeping.
Tice Larson set up at that 20-yard line, looking for the return, high snap. There's the punt, and that one's going to come off that foot of Schneider, and it will bobble around just about the 27-yard line is where that'll get set.
Yeah, just, an okay kick. Way to flip the field a little bit here for Vinton. As you could see, we had one of the Jayhawks run over to the Vinton Shellsburg sideline, and that's a classic example of where you're yelling Peter on the sideline. When you hear Peter, you want to run away. Just get out of bounds because you don't want the ball to hit you and maybe create a turnover for your team.
And Jesup starting again at their own 27 again, where it's officially placed. Hard snap, Preston Youngblood back in, and he's going to get flung by that defense, maybe pick up a yard. He did not finish that first half. He missed about the last 3 or 4 minutes, and Caden Lane came in, but Caden did a great job in that backfield too. Yeah,
Caden, obviously not as big. I would argue probably just as strong as Preston. Very nice change of pace. But we've done a really nice job in relying on Preston this year to carry the heavy load of the Jayhawk rushing attack.
Second down and 9. 2 to the near side, and Tice is going to hang back a little bit, but Preston finds an opening, gets past that 40-yard line, and ultimately taken down and spotted at about the 40, we'll give him 48-yard line, I think is what they'll say.
Nice job by the Jesup's right side of the offensive line. I think you see man, I'm so bad at names right now. But there was no one within 6 yards. And once Preston gets out of the gates, that's a large individual to try to take down.
Clock is rolling. Again, Jesup looking to build on that 7-point margin. And Youngblood ducks inside, comes outside, now trying to high step, gets that first down, is in Viking end of the field. He'll be about the 38-yard line is where they'll mark that.
Nice job by the play side guard and tackle of Wyatt Schroeder and Hunter Surley. Preston showing excellent patience as he's pressing the hole, and there was a little lane for him to have a cutback, and you see it with the Jayhawk first down.
Landon Vogel makes his way in, one of the 12 seniors on this football squad. Honored those guys at beginning of the game, and we did get that recorded on, and we'll get posted on Facebook. So Anthony will get that up on the Facebook page here. Back, Treptow has time. There is double pressure, and it's almost caught by Abe Sullivan.
Rough. Oh, boy. That was a great setup by the Jayhawks here. A little longer developing play as you saw wide receivers kind of going across the field there. A little play action from the Jayhawks. And we had an opening, and, you know, that's tough because that's just a classic, you know what, your eyes are getting a little bit bigger as you kind of get closer to the end zone. See it, secure it, and then get upfield.
Still down at Union, waiting to see if anybody can score down there against West Marshall. Quick snap, near side, tuck and go with Preston Youngblood. Changes course, gets outside the numbers. Little stiff arm takes him out about the 30.
Once again, you're seeing us have our guards trying to get out in space, and, you know, once you get some of our hefty boys out moving towards the outers, you know, out towards the sideline, it doesn't have to be demoralizing. You don't have to go out there and flatten someone. You just have to get enough of a piece. And nice job by Jesup skill positions to try to get a chip on Vinton Shellsburg's defensive backs.
Another first down for the Jayhawks. I don't know what our first down total is so far this game. But they keep stacking it up. High snap is going to be loose, and Treptow quickly has to get on it. And it's going to pop away from Treptow, but are they going to say
he was down
where it's at? So disappointment on Vinton Shellsburg end is going to show Jesup will have it, but high snap coming on that 1st and 10 is going to really bring the Jayhawks back.
Yeah, that's so tough, especially as a center. You know, you got to identify your front. You got to think about the snap count. You got to think about your assignment. You're making all these calls, and what you saw there is when the snap happened, we were breaking our wrist for the snap, and when you break your wrist instead of keeping it locked in, that ball tends to sail on you.
Looking to probably throw this in the air a bit. Treptow has Preston Youngblood, and those defenders. Youngblood still on his feet and trying to get back to where they started, but we're going to see that Andrew Devlin gets tripped up a little bit. But when you look at this, you've got two defenders that I think thought that ball was already in motion that were attacking Treptow, and they kind of just stopped, and they very well could have put some even bigger pressure on Ryan.
Yeah, excellent play call by Jacob McMartin. You know, you're 2nd and 25. There's not a lot in the playbook in 2nd and 25, so a little middle running back screen there. I gasped slightly because one of our offensive linemen looked like they were in position, maybe for a block in the back. But, you know, we're in 3rd and manageable here.
Little pitch, Preston Youngblood. He's got a number of those visiting jerseys on him, but he's back into fighting territory in that 3rd down at about 5 yards. They'll spot that at the 24. And a very, very important play right here, Tim.
Yeah, I would like to see Coach McMartin here. You know, they're bringing in one
of their
4th
down now.
4th down. They're Vinton Shellsburg bringing in some of their run support. I believe number, is that 73? I think he's, oh boy, he's I think he's 300. I don't know what the roster says. Expect a hard count here to see if you can get Vinton to, nope.
Got a flat opening. Tice Larson gets it, gets that 1st down, hangs on to it, keeps fighting.
Good job. Hold on to the ball.
And he's going to be within single digits on that yard marker.
Nice job. A nice little slant arrow concept to the wide side of the field for the Jayhawks.
6'4", 350.
Okay, I you know, being an individual who's been big all my life, I don't want to misspeak on the statistics. So, you know,
yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah, seeing the kind of a run package. Nice job by Coach McMartin to try to expose the cover 3 that you're seeing. It's my favorite cheerleaders do. Seeing the cover 3 flat open, being able to execute. Ball was a little off from
flag thrown behind Jesup's backfield as Preston Youngblood tries to fight through. Good sign of sportsmanship there from Vinton Shellsburg as Jacob Becker pulls up Preston Youngblood.
Oh, I'm not sure what that was. Oh, we have injured Jayhawk here.
So we will get that official's timeout, and it looks like that is Oshner who is down near that goal line. Not quite sure what happened there, but we got whether we got a cramp or something else that's happening down there. But Jesup, again, in a position right now, kind of in the driver's seat, and really talk about it, Tim. You know, with 1st and 10, long snap, they were setting back to what, the 45 thereabouts, and able to find that activity and move the chains and set up where they're right now to be 1st down and 14, unfortunately, is where they're sitting there right now.
Yeah, that's pretty huge. That's about, talking about the salt or the ability of a team to come back and be able to be behind in the chains after a miscue and, get back into the red zone here. And I know we're 1st and 14 here. And, see what we can dial up. We got some room for some of our passing concepts, so we don't have to think run right here when we're in the red zone.
Abe Sullivan on that far side. Vogel, Larson set on the near side. Youngblood. High snap again. Treptow takes it off the bounce, but Tice Larson gets it. Caught about the 9-yard line, and they will spot him out about the 6. But when that ball snaps, it bounces and almost put his basketball jersey back on to take off that dribble. But talk about a good heads-up play, quick response, and Larson there to pull it in. Yeah,
we get a little bit of a Jayhawk bounce, so it kind of goes right back into RT's lap. I think we had another center in right now because was that Brennan Oshner was coming off?
Looks like Andrew Devlin is in there at center right now.
Okay,
so he's got a little out of practice, and he's got some things to figure out. As Preston will circle his way in for the touchdown. 6 yards.
Nice, good momentum swing for the Jayhawks. A gritty drive to be able to go punching into the end zone.
So the first score here in this second half builds that margin. Still need a little bit more, but kind of checking where Oshner, he's on that trainer's table right now, kind of checking that left knee, left calf. As there's the snap, there is the blocked extra point, and hopefully that doesn't come in to be a deciding factor as Jesup has the lead 27-14 here in this third quarter. But resiliency, Tim. Resiliency is the word I'm thinking of here in that third quarter of where they set up. Disappointment coming out of that, coming out right at the end of the first half, but overcoming, some loss of yards to really build it back and get in the end zone.
Yeah, being able to scheme where you want to be. Like I said, there's not a lot of play calls for 2nd and 25. Others some type of wide receiver, middle screen. Going in with a backup center, too, especially as you get inside the 10-yard line. And that comes down to players being prepared, practicing that. I mean, you don't go in practicing with the same center the whole entire week or the whole entire season because injuries, as you can see this season, end up happening.
So Jesup back to kick off, and Vinton back on their returners. Jacoby Johnson along with Greeley. Set up just about that 11-yard line with the wind to the back. And Youngblood kicking into it. Little low flyer. Gets on that near side, and Jacoby will find it. Braxton trying to come in. Drew Munson, where did he come from?
What a monster. Absolutely tattooed the returner for Vinton Shellsburg. And that was all set up. Nice job by Tice and whoever the other individual was, vicing that returner for Vinton Shellsburg, and Drew just absolutely tattooing Vinton Shellsburg.
Yeah, Munson came snaking in from that side and just caught him on the hip. So needing to stop, needing another turnover potentially. They'll put one into motion, and they will look to try and bring that up, and they've been able to find that. The ball came loose. They've been able to find that opening on that right side to get through that I'm sure the defense is is adjusting to, and coaches down the way in the box have to be shouting that out what they're seeing.
Yeah, you're seeing a short motion, and then you see a little kind of going against the current from Vinton Shellsburg. That's such a hard read because you've got so many different keys out there, especially as a linebacker. You see a little friendly bounce from ball to go back to Vinton Shellsburg, and another opportunity to Vinton to try to move the chains. Misdirection. That's the word I was looking for. Misdirection from Vinton Shellsburg.
Coverage tight here in this near side. Looking for an opening. Pass play downfield, and Abe Sullivan really aware of himself. Didn't want to get that flag called against him, but Jesup, plenty of people in that real estate to prevent a pass from being caught.
Good job by Abe in getting to his drop, getting to his landmark. You know, sometimes when you see people put their hands up, it's like, hey, I'm not guilty, and usually people are guilty when they try to plead their innocence. But nice job by Abe being in the spot he needs to be in. And then I would say a pretty critical 3rd and 2 here for Vinton, as they're behind by 2 scores, and that clock is bottom half of the 3rd quarter.
Clock is stopped.
Turn him in.
Looking on the near side again, in and out of traffic, and really trying to find that success in the hitting and the tackling. Moving the chains, 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
You know, I know it can be frustrating watching, and Vinton's been able to move the ball a little bit, but you don't see our corners trying to spill it, try to go on the inside shoulder and have Vinton try to bounce it out. So we're doing our job currently. We're filling the alley or getting to the alley maybe just a little bit sooner.
Roll right. Isaiah Schneider is going to get taken down. Well, he'll pick up about a yard. That'd be in the backfield. Here come more Jayhawks into the contest from the defense. Andrew Devlin has been given the nod at center, and Oshner is off the training table. And I assume he's been given the go-ahead to go back in.
Yeah, it's very positive. He's moving pretty good. He's not moving gingerly or anything. It looks like they were performing some different tests to test the ligaments on Oshner's knee. It looks like he's a go for next offensive possession.
Oh, wow. Really looked try and fool Jesup right there, but that defense, they found where they needed to be getting across that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we're starting to be a little more stingy. You see Vinton trying to get to the B gap or C gap, and you saw a little success with the off tackle. Last 2 plays trying to go to the outside space, and not a lot going for Vinton as they're trying to attack the outside gaps.
Sadler, Devlin, as well as Carson Hovey on that front line.
West Marshall.
And West Marshall has scored at Union, and there's the pass, and we're going to see that caught by Jacoby Johnson, and he is not going to have enough for first down. That sets up 4th and short.
4-down territory all the way, especially with only 90 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Has each team had the ball once in the 3rd quarter? Sound right? Twice. They've had it twice. I'm terrible at counting.
Yes.
But, you got to go for it here. You can't
Second, you're right.
You can't punt and do the field position game, especially being down 2 scores. Be disciplined here, Jayhawks. Don't try to jump on a hard count potential.
And in that backfield, and going to get around and find Bramau. Will get the first down as he is out of bounds. That clock will stop. Chains will move. And getting deeper into Jesup territory where they've had success.
Yeah, just nice solid run. You saw a little inside trap play that Vinton Shellsburg's running back actually bounced out to the sideline. He didn't like how cloudy it looked for his read, and he was able to kind of skirt to the outside in order to pick up first down.
Play set at the 35, 48 seconds. Less than actually as the clock is rolling, as you see. And a quick snap here in the flat. Looked at a quick toss on the near side, and kind of some frustration with Colson Qualley, Number 31 down there. He was open, and he very well could have picked up some more yards, but quarterback changed his mind.
Yeah, you can kind of see the Jayhawks are doing a phenomenal job of getting to their drops, and you can kind of see a little bit of happy feet from Vinton Shellsburg, quarterback, just kind of moving his feet, kind of just in the same spot. He doesn't like his read, and then you can see the incompletion from Vinton.
Intent was for Johnson. Looking to
Middle
play
screen.
again. And Sadler. Tall guy out there had his fingers on it, and very well could have pulled that in, and we could have seen him trucking south.
Yeah, really great job by JD, realizing, hey, this is way too easy. He retraces his steps. Oh, boy, that gave me flashbacks to 2022 with Nathan Novak going against North Fayette and trying to house one at nose tackle and have him stumble, rumble, and bumble for about 20, 25 yards.
Jacob Becker had come in just behind as he was the intended receiver, and he very well could have got some fingers on that as well. 3rd down and 10. Receivers to the left. And a quick snap. Open in the flat, pressure on, and coverage from Caden Lang. Can't get the tackle. Cavalier, he gets a touch, but it's going to take Paxton McCone to push him out of bounds. And that will spot just shy of the 1st down, setting up 4th down and short again.
Yeah, we were looking at there for maybe 4th and 8 and another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-yard gain. Puts it 4th and manageable for Vinton. I wouldn't be surprised. Vinton comes up. They're able to convert the first here. Hurry up, try to get one more play before the switch going into the 4th quarter.
Clock is running. 13 on that play clock. Quick handoff, and we're going to see the 1st down move and move the change. Stop the clock quickly. Cavalier in on that stop along with Lang again. Stop the clock, move the chain, start the clock again, and Vinton Shellsburg, they will walk to the sideline and let that clock extinguish and go to the 4th period is where we're set up. 27-14, only one score, Tim, in that 3rd quarter, and that was Preston Youngblood with a 6-yard carry in, and Jayhawks really needing to build on that.
Yeah, so, it's our gritty defense. It's our bend, don't break. We're going to see what kind of we're made out of here as Vinton Shellsburg has been in control, establishing the line of scrimmage as they're been marching the second half, the second part of the 3rd quarter. Just a little update here for you. Nate did mention that West Marshall is up 7-0. West Marshall has the ball back on Union's 22-yard line.
So again, go through those implications again. So we're needing to see some good advantage here, with a 13-point margin. We need to be plus 17.
Yep. So
PCM's where that needs to be with the win over Iowa Falls.
West Marshall's moving kind of the right spot.
Or leading Iowa Falls, I should say.
Correct. Some other things that we're looking at here, if you're looking at kind of some playoff implications, depending on how this game goes, you're maybe looking at us playing, if we get the 3rd seed, Osage, North Fayette, Roland Story. This all becomes official 10 a.m. tomorrow once everybody in the state gets to kind of pick where everyone goes. Another thing to kind of keep track of tonight is looking at Anamosa versus Southeast Goose Lake. That could be a potential. If we go 4 seed, we could go all the way up to Anamosa, or we could actually go play balls loose, North Fayette Valley.
So taking advantage, Jesup hoping to take advantage of that big setback for Vinton Shellsburg as they quickly got going here in the 4th quarter, and that came right off the hands of the quarterback. And I know it's not cold. It's colder than it's been, but, you got to keep those hands warm too, and that ball isn't necessarily going to be warm.
Yeah, so
compared to what you're used to.
Correct. It's been warmer this week. It got cool. It's obviously cooler right now at whatever the temperature is. This is kind of eerie. This is kind of right where we were at last time. Middle screen, halfback screen, because there's not much you can do at 2nd and 25.
Really near side, looking for somebody to be open. Pressure from Preston Youngblood. Pass is going to come out of bounds, and looks like Sullivan got tagged on the sideline, brought him down.
He's tough. He'll be all right. Yeah, you saw a really good concept. One of my favorite passing concepts of Vinton Shellsburg, we call this a smash concept. A curl, so a 6 yards, 6-yard route turn and look on the inside shoulder. You saw a post route from the inside guy, so run 7 to 10 yards and kind of head towards the sideline. And with our defense right now, we're not really allowing anything behind us. So the easy take for Vinton Shellsburg was trying to hit the curl in the flat, which is near the sideline.
11-10 to go. We are in that final quarter, and we are going to see too much time, I believe, is what happened.
Ooh.
Too much time on that play clock, and that shifts Vinton back even more. But, you know, this is one of those games, and, you know, coming into tonight, it's how is Vinton? You know, they're defeated all season long. Should be easy. But I said those are the ones you worry about.
Right.
Especially at this point in the season. Going down big opportunity and almost going to be caught, but give Abe Sullivan credit on that far corner.
You know, Abe's been in rhythm. He's been in phase all night with Vinton Shellsburg, wide receiver. You know, you can see they're kind of picking on him a little bit. He is a stout-looking individual, maybe a smidge on the shorter side. So they keep testing Abe a little bit. He's in position. If we can keep our feet a little bit better, we'll be in even better position. 4th
down and long. And Vinton Shellsburg will punt. So this is lining up to the advantage of Jesup and where their offense is. And looks like we've got some activity here down at Union we'll talk about here in just a minute, as that punt will sail just inside between the numbers and the sideline at about the 25-yard line. But West Marshall continues to build that margin, it appears.
Yeah, West Marshall looked like they just punched another one in after getting a turnover. 4th quarter was 7 minutes and 38 seconds. So West Marshall's doing what they need to do against Union to try to manipulate where we're going to be in the playoffs. Potentially be in the playoffs.
Under 11. We're manifesting is what we're doing.
Yes, oh yeah. Talking into existence.
Treptow again at quarterback. Youngblood in that backfield. He's going to tuck it and go and keep driving, keep digging, looking for a last offender, and he will roll out of bounds, and he slightly signifies first down for Jesup.
Man, just the wear and tear of so many rushes on the season. And that's part of football. Like, it's not in a vacuum where it's just 1 week at a time. And, you know, he's just like a diesel engine. You know, it may take him a little bit to get him warmed up, but when he's warmed up, he's going to be ready to go.
And 2 scores. Jesup and Vinton both scored in the first. Jesup had 2 scores in that second. And Vinton.
Arm tackles aren't going to work.
Looking to
arm
counter
tackles
here
aren't
on
going to work.
Oh! And a stiff arm for Youngbloods. He comes out at about that 8-yard line. He wants this, Tim. He wants this win.
He's saying, get off me. Oh, we got an injured Vinton Shellsburg individual, maybe a little cramping going.
So good sportsmanship right there as Ryan Treptow back with that player. And you do have that cramp situation out there. The training staff for the Vikings is out attending. But only 1 score here so far in this quarter. But going back to some names there's 2 names we've called both sides of the ball tonight with the play they've had. Do you want to guess what they are that I'm going to say?
No, this is your moment. Go for it.
Okay. Munson and Abe Sullivan.
Yeah. You know, Munson had to play a little bit as a freshman a couple years ago, and maybe a little out of position. Played him at corner, played him at running back, and this guy is your typical, I'm going to say Big Ten linebacker. I know he doesn't have all the measurable, but that kid, you know, he's just got a head for the ball, nose for the ball, tough kid, you know, great kid, hard worker, and that's everything that exemplifies this Jesup program of being blue collar.
1st and goal on that 10. Chains are down. Sullivan near side. And they're going to go up the middle and trying to really take that ball away is Vinton trying to peel it out of Preston Youngblood's hands. There will be just an even placement. So back at that line of scrimmage. Player we've not seen much activity. I don't know how he's doing. I know he was out with a finger injury. But Nick Moore, have not seen him much on the field tonight at the receiving spot as Preston finds an opening and gets into the end zone for a 10-yard touchdown.
Nice hard run. There's not much more I can say about that. That's exactly what we had to do. Methodical, going down the field, trying to get into the end zone. So nice job by the Jayhawks. Way to be composed, and looks like going for 2 to try to increase that spread.
Good luck to the Jesup ambulance crew. Appears to be moving off to something that they need to attend to, and
pop
off on the right side. Talk about just a nonchalant, weren't ready for it. Tice Larson, he was ready for it as he jumps across that goal line for the 2-point conversion, and we have a 35-14 game, Tim. We're on that track.
Yeah, excellent play call here. It's a read on the backside defensive end. RT sees the outside linebacker going to cover the flats, and as he's trying to go, the outside linebacker knows he's got to be the secondary defender, and then that leaves no one open on no one covering Tice Larson for an easy pitch and catch for the Jayhawks.
So 35-14 as I'll stand corrected. I'm going to correct this on our scoreboard as we get the feed updated on Varsity Bound. And I still don't have that correct. We'll get that right. 35-14 is where things will set up, and just being consistent, staying with it.
Yep. Full house.
Full house. Got a peanut gallery in here.
Yeah. This is the position we talked about all night, Nate. We've got a 3-score lead right now, so you're looking at there's still a lot of game for Vinton to do some stuff, and so we can't rest back knowing we're up by 3 scores because every point matters right now. So right now, if it would stop, we're right where we need to be. The West Marshall game's right where it needs to be, but there's a lot of time left for Vinton as they're trying to continue to build on their season for them to disrupt some stuff for the playoffs.
Rayleigh and Droschel back to return, and that wind to the back of Preston Youngblood again. So you'll see Greeley take that at about the 5-yard line. He's still on his feet and will get taken down about the 25-yard line. Still quite a gain for him.
Yeah, this is where it starts getting tough. Guys are being tired. That 60-yard sprint can be exhausting, especially. I don't know how many plays we had on that last drive. I'm assuming it was double digits. And, one thing we kind of talked about last week, our special teams have to be special. We can't be a playoff. If we have to get another guy in there for a fresh body, they're right around the 30-yard line, which isn't terrible field position, but it's going to be interesting to see what the Vikings do here.
And like I said, 1st and 10 on that 26-yard line, just under 10 minutes to play in this game. And bringing that left side, and there's a nice shoulder tackle.
Yes.
Give credit to Drew Munson again, number 30.
Man.
Call him out.
Drew Munson, excellent job scraping across the formation. You see Tice, that outside linebacker, doing a great job taking on the leading puller of that running back, and everyone's doing their job. Tice could have tried to cut up in the middle and tried to have the solo tackle. He does his job. That allows Drew Munson in order to make the play.
Johnson split that far side, quick snap, looking out here in the flat, going to angle it in, and almost didn't work. But Jacoby Johnson pulls that in. There's some coverage there from Cavalier along with Caden Lang.
Yeah, great focus by Vinton Shellsburg. Sometimes what you see is it hit the hands and they don't finish the play. And nice job to try to secure the catch and then make it 3rd and short here for the Vikings.
Cavalier gave a good fight there defensively. 3rd down and a generous 2. And spot that on the 34. And some struggles in that backfield for that offense for Vinton Shellsburg and Jesup's defense. They're finding their way in.
Yeah, so you still see Vinton trying to attack off tackle here. And, I don't know if there's any adjustments that we made, whether that's alignment or reads from our outside linebackers. But Jesup getting a little stingy here on defense, doing a nice job, especially in the weak side B gap, to kind of snuff out the run here.
A key 4th down for Vinton Shellsburg. They need to go for it. No bones about it. Clock moving, 8:09. Low snap, pressure in on that left side. Open in the flat, 1st down. as that ball is caught by Jacoby Johnson. He came in tonight with 261 yards in receiving and averages about 10 yards per catch.
Yeah, Jayhawks doing a nice job not letting anything get behind them. I mean, we've seen a couple shot attempts from Vinton, but everything's been short, quick, trying to keep your quarterback in rhythm. Yes, they did pick up the first down, but you don't see a huge big play from Vinton here, just enough to move the chains.
Jesup got a little stronger here this second half on defense. Still trying to build on what they can do.
Run with them. Wow.
But ball is going to be caught. Officials probably should have been down there a little bit quicker, but give credit to Vinton where they needed to be, and Jacoby Johnson pulls it in. But that pass was from Alex Bramow.
Yeah, nice play setup. We've kind of seen not a halfback sweep, but outside halfback stretch with a lead blocker. And I think we've been kind of in a little more run commit here, and a nice toss and catch from Vinton Shellsburg.
And really wasn't a hard-fought pass. That was into the wind.
Yeah.
It hung up there for a while. Yeah, I think you're right. Jesup just was not ready for it, as they'll go back on the ground game, and that ball from Bridgewater, I believe, is who the carrier was. Actually strike that, give that to Isaiah Schneider, a sophomore back, as he gets dinged a little bit. Second down and about 5. Placed under the 22-yard line. 7:25 to go in the game. Fourth quarter. Play clock at 15. One on the far side. And going to fake the handoff. Rolling down, looking for coverage with Abe Sullivan, and we will see incomplete.
Nice roll out for Vinton Shellsburg to buy a little bit more time for their quarterback. Abe's kind of on an island right now, just him and the Vinton Shellsburg wide receiver, and kind of a 50-50 jump ball. Nice job by Abe to try to get his hands up to try to block the pass, and that's something that they practice. If they're going to come down with it, pop that hand up in between the wide receiver's hands to try to dislodge that pass.
Third down and 5, still on the 22. One near, too far. Quick look. There's the flat. Take advantage of that opportunity that time. It should be enough for, well, not enough for a first down. Should be a yard short.
Fourth down.
And that ball in the hands of Isaiah Schneider.
Yeah, nice job by Vinton there. You can see the first primary read wasn't there, which was going to be that smash concept, that corner. And you can see as Vinton Shellsburg's quarterback kept his feet moving. He took his check down to try to get him closer to that first down.
There was Qualley with the reception on that one.
Big fourth down.
Need the stop. Handoff this time again up that gut, and Tice Larson had an arm on him, but eventually Jayhawks will trip him up, take him down, and move the chains. First down and 10 from the 14-yard line.
I feel like I keep saying this, but this bend don't break, so we're going to see what the Jayhawks can do here. Obviously with the 3-score game, Vinton's still trying to play for a lot here, but the Jayhawks have to be a little more stout in order to try to get that point difference a little more in our favor.
Strong defensive front on that right side. Give credit to Devlin, Munson, all on that stop. Sadler will come to the sideline. 6 minutes to go in this game. Clock continues to roll. Both teams full timeouts yet, Coach.
Yeah, there's a lot of football here, and one thing as well here, Vinton Shellsburg can get a first down. It's not second and goal here, so they can still get a first down inside the 3. And, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time off the clock. I'd probably like to see a little more sense of urgency from Vinton Shellsburg, maybe, but once again, that's why they're down there and I'm up here.
For now. Pass straight across that goal line area. Handle the price. I'm talking about the 3-yard line. But great reception there for Vinton Shellsburg. Give credit to Jacoby Johnson for being the place he needed to be.
Yeah, great catch, secured it, and then got a decent little hit right there. And, sometimes what you see at the high school level, you see a little bit of a catch, and then someone gets tattooed and, we have an incompletion. So 3rd and 1 looks like can still get a first down. Not 3rd and goal or 1st and goal yet.
We'll put 2 in that backfield with the quarterback. Quick snap, quick handoff, and undertaken quickly. Isaiah Schneider. Give credit to J.D. Sadler on that stop.
Yeah, nice job. We did a really nice job plugging up the point of attack here for Vinton Shellsburg. And, 4th and 1. This could be another 5 or 6 plays here depending on how this goes for Vinton Shellsburg. We get a great stop here. We'll be a little backed up, but you'd prefer that instead of having them kick off to us.
4th down and 2. It is on the 5-yard line. So the chains are still out. We talk about important plays, but we just mentioned timeouts, and Vinton thinks this is probably a good time to take one of those.
Yeah, you can't carry them, especially in the first half. You can't carry them in the second half. And maybe you saw a little alignment from how the Jayhawks broke the huddle that, hey, we want to do this instead, especially how pivotal this 4th down is.
Want to give some a shout out here. Coming up on Tuesday the 22nd, 7 o'clock, that's coming up next week. The fall concert and music, actually, fall concert is going to take place for the middle school and high school. Come out and support the band and choir as they have their showcase 7 o'clock on Tuesday, and then save the date Friday, November 15th, Saturday, November 16th in the North Gym, 7 o'clock. This will be the last. This will be the last theater event in that North Gym before the new auditorium opens next year.
Yeah, that's some exciting stuff. Happy to share the space with everybody, but just an immaculate facility that's going up, and can't wait for our fine arts students to be able to use it here in the future.
And those parents out there, put this on your calendars if you haven't done it yet. Parent-teacher conference is coming up Wednesday, November 6th and Thursday, November 7th. So you can't say you didn't know.
Yep.
You can't say it because that's me saying everybody's watching here, I guess.
Tight formation, rollout.
Quick side, quarterback's looking, and coverage from Caden Lang, but it's going to be enough for first down and goal. Just not quick enough to try and get in his back pocket and knock that away.
Yeah, nice play concept from Vinton Shellsburg here. The rollout, always hard to kind of go rollout to your non-dominant side. If the outside linebacker commits to the quarterback on the rollout, then it's going to be an easy touchdown. You had to stay disciplined, go with the flat player, and then we had enough Jayhawks to rally to stop them before they reached the end zone.
35-14 is our score. Vinton knocking on the door to reduce that margin. Not what Jesup wants to see at this point as they bring it around that left side, and Isaiah Schneider will make his way into the end zone with a 3-yard carry.
Yeah, a little quick pitch here from the Vikings. Nice, probably like a little trap play from their condensed formation, and it was just enough to kind of squeak into the end zone.
3:35 to go. Vinton has tightened up that score. Now within 15, where we need to be at 17 plus, and they're going to go for this extra point, which they've had success each time they've been out there. And we will see Jesup for the 4th time tonight be on that kickoff team as that ball gets knocked down. Give Abe Sullivan some credit on the distraction and interruption, so we kind of needed that.
Yeah, man, his name has been called all night, and just as being a sophomore, kind of getting put into the role and being able to produce tonight. So excellent to see from Abe, making plays offensively, defensively, and on the special teams.
So just a second touchdown this quarter, once from Jesup, once from Vinton, but 15-point margin. We need a couple more.
Yeah.
We need a couple. Well, let's go with let's just get another 6, maybe even 7. Just to keep it on the good side.
Yeah, so you're probably going to see the onside here from Vinton Shellsburg. You're going to have really good field position with 3.5 minutes left, depending on what side of it the ball may bounce today. And, I think in a typical game, you're just trying to, run out the clock. And, this is not going to be favorable for some people watching, but we need some more points to get us into the position that we want to be for the playoffs. So, obviously, we got to get the onside kick here. We got to retain possession. And then we've got some work that we got to do offensively as we progress in this 4th quarter.
So they have made some adjustments with this kick return team, anticipating, just as you said, we've moved some receiver types further up.
Yeah, some guys that probably catch some footballs during practice instead of some more linebackers or the true athletes on the team, offensive linemen, being up on that 50-yard line.
3:35 to go. Vinton has to go 10 yards.
Just go on it.
And they will quickly jump on that, and did not go the way Vinton had hoped. And you saw a potential flag out there, but they're not going to pull it.
I'm not. I'm trying not to be a homer, but sometimes. Hey, excellent.
You're wearing blue. You can do that.
Yeah. Excellent job by the Jayhawks here. As you see at the end, secured possession, and you see multiple Jayhawk. Yeah, that should. Yeah, you saw us cover up the Preston with the recovery here. So nice job protecting everybody. And then see what Jesup does here on offense.
First down and 10, spot in the 37. Quickly, Preston Youngblood will take it. He gets a big gain as long as he hangs onto that ball, and Vinton wants it really bad, but that is going to be, that's going to be a first down. Move the chains.
What the scary part is there, Nate, I mean, the refs, it was, he wasn't gaining more yards, so they got to stop play, but Preston did not go down, and there looked like there was a wall of humanity on him too. So, that game, Preston gets stronger as the game goes on. A little push from the Hogs up front and moving the chains for the Jayhawks.
Give it to him one more time. Keep powering through. Comes in the near side. Get out the numbers. High stepping past the 25. Stays in bounds. Tumbles down at the 2-yard line.
Wow. Yeah. I haven't seen someone run that hard. And no discredit to any other running backs that we've had here at Jesup, but I'm getting flashbacks from Brendan Murray running the ball for the Jayhawks, which is the last 1,000-yard rusher that we had for the 2015-2016 playoff team. And I believe Preston has gone over 1,000 yards for the single season.
Is this where I start singing Stat of the Day?
No, I mean, you can. I'm sure you have a beautiful voice.
Spot that in the 2nd-yard line, 1st and goal. And Jesup looking to build and solidify a lead, if not
Face
a win.
mask.
Flag is thrown as Preston does get in with 2 yards. Face mask against Vinton. Touchdown will count.
Wow. I believe, if my math is correct, that will be Preston's. Is that 2 or 3 for him? Is that 2?
Tonight, this will be 3 total.
That'll be 3 for Preston. So that brings Preston 13th, his 13th rushing touchdown all time, which ties him for Dave Scher's record of 13 in a season, 13 in a career, a record that has passing Dave Scher's from a record from 1978.
Okay. Go back a little bit.
9th all time in career rushing touchdowns.
2:37 is where we're at. Jesup defense really going to be asked to step up here as that straight-on kick comes off of Caden Lang's foot, and we have a 41-20 ball game.
Good. Nice job. Good response. Easily could have ran it out, but like I said, with these playoff implications that we have, West Marshall beating Union by 14 points. That's going to that's in our favor currently right now. And Vinton Shellsburg, as with 2.5 minutes left, it's like 3 scores would be pretty tough. They've got a chance to kind of disrupt some of the playoff math here, and so our defense has to be stout. We have to be stingy, and because if we get the ball back and they get another, if they get another score, that's it's going to get interesting here.
So we're looking at right now. So there's really 4 things that need to happen. PCM Monroe needs to really beat Iowa Falls check.
Yep.
That's happening.
Yes.
Jesup needs to be up by 17 plus. That's happening.
Yes.
We're leading right now. We'll give that a start on the check mark.
Yep.
But where does the West Marshall Union? Where does that need to be? They're up 14-0 right now on Union.
So West Marshall needs to have, for the point differential for Union, I believe they need to be at -8. So if they lose by 8 or greater, that is where, for the three-way tiebreaker, that's going to slide us into third in the district versus being fourth.
Okay, so really, with Iowa Falls losing, we win by where we're at right now, at least. We're looking at fourth, right? Would you say so?
So fourth is pretty solid because we're doing some nice stuff, bearing some really late game heroics from Vinton Shellsburg. It looks like we're going to be victorious here, but it's high school football, so a lot can still happen. Yeah, knock on wood if you're listening at home. So we've got fourth is realistic here. I knocked off our monitor. It'll come back. There it goes. So as long as we're above 17 here coming up, that puts us in a really good spot. Like I said, if I think I have my math correct, to put us third in the district. And why that's so important, it looks like Vinton's calling a timeout, why that's so important. So how they do the playoffs is they'll take a number 1 seed from a district, and then they will pair you up with the number 4 seed in another district. Now for us, that's the difference between if we get the 4 seed, going to go play a district champion, and then going to play another 2 seed. Now, I would argue our district is so much stronger this year than in years past. So being able to get the 3 seed, that means we're going to go play maybe Osage if they end up being number 2. That means maybe we're traveling to Rolling Story to play them number 2. But if it ends up our point differential doesn't go the way we want to, that means we're maybe going to Anamosa. That means we're going to North Fayette. Those are all schools that are a little over 90 minutes away. They're not going to have you travel, unless you're in western Iowa, probably over 2 hours for a round 1 playoff game.
So coming out of this timeout, Vinton Shellsburg again with the possession of this ball. They've got 80 yards. They need to march to keep building and looking to narrow again where we're sitting at. Again, a 21-point lead. But Jesup really needs to be stingy on their defense right now and not allow much advancement at all, as we're going to see a breakaway catch and run, and it's going to take Munson along with Paxton McCone to take down that receiver out of bounds. Chains do move, and the clock is sitting at 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, you see a little slip screen from Vinton Shellsburg over there. Go out to fake the stock block and try to go not exactly where the offensive line is at, but try to almost like a little wide receiver screen. And with our coverage right now, we're playing we're being a little more stingy, not giving as much cushion. They're able to attack the flats.
Going back in the throw, looking downfield, and that one's going to sail out of bounds off a Colt Copen, a sophomore quarterback. Again, this is a young team. You look at Vinton Shellsburg, not many seniors, and it's not a very big roster necessarily. You're looking at 3 seniors, 4 seniors maybe on this squad. Lineup spotted at the 41-yard line realistically. Second down and 10. Take it to the ground. Missed tackle, missed slip there, but they keep finding extra yards, and Alex Bramow continues to roll, another one of the seniors on this team.
Yeah, nice job by Vinton here, trying to still execute their offense. I mean, they're not getting too pass-heavy, still trying to run the ball. They're trying to establish that identity for the rest of this game and some landmarks to go for the next season.
Third down and 2, and ball is so close to being caught, as that was just off the fingertips of Jacob Becker as it was 4th down and 2. They got to cross that 50-yard line, get into Jesup territory, and I'd like to see this Jesup defense with a little more energy out there, honestly. Get some excitement. Yeah. Let's get some pressure.
This is big right here. This is I don't want to say it's for the playoffs, but there are some implications with this play alone right here.
Run. On that far side and backfield, almost stop, and talk about a Jesup defensive opportunity they needed, but a flag goes up, and you're right away thinking it's defense. It's a defense's issue.
Late hit, unsportsmanlike conduct maybe after the play, and they just that's not positive.
Yeah, that's going to be against Jesup. That, like you said, that was a frustrating play right there that goes against Jesup. There was some excitement there, and some emotions probably got in the way there.
Yeah, you got to control your controllables. Maybe somebody's back up in your face, and the heat of the moment gets to you. But that's the difference between us right now being on offense and just running the ball out. Now, Vinton Shellsburg got a fresh set of downs, and 37-yard line.
1st and 10 on the 37. Looking for a stop, looking for a takeaway. In the flat, ball caught by Schneider. The coverage there from Preston Youngblood is going to make that stop, and that will be a 2nd down and probably about a 2 or 3 yard gain before they place it. Just some extended conversation with the officials.
My guess is Coach McMartin wants to know what happened. And never mind.
You say holding. I didn't see that flag go out there.
No, I didn't either. No, I thought Coach McMartin was still worried about the unsportsmanlike conduct, late hit. But yeah, I missed that. I wasn't on my game there.
Yeah, I didn't see that flag thrown out. There's been a couple of those tonight that maybe you haven't let them fly high yet for us to see them. 1st down, technically 20 to go. And they will look to go to the air again. I'm going to anticipate on that far side is where we've seen that movement. And there's pressure. Pressure on that quarterback and really trying to make a stop. And they get close to getting within 10 yards of that 1st down. Clock continues to roll, and that's something we really need to watch, Tim. Sitting at 62 seconds now.
Man, we got a really good pass rush there. One of the Tempest brothers actually got a pretty good crunch on the quarterback, especially when you get a wide receiver out in space. We're lucky that didn't go for more. It's a little more second and manageable, especially as the time ticks down here. And hold on to your breath here.
Becker was the receiver on that. Clock continues to roll. 40 seconds. 2nd down and 11, and bring it out. Looking for an opportunity and give Drew Munson credit. He was there to solidify the stop along with Preston Youngblood. And that'll be 3rd down, and a timeout is going to be wanted by Vinton Shellsburg. That will be should be their last one.
Yeah. Tice is pretty sure-handed, especially out in space, and he just, he broke down a little bit there, maybe lost a little bit of his footing. We secured the tackles. 3rd and 11. Maybe not. 3rd and 6.
Yeah, I got a 5-yard. There it is. 5-yard pickup on that.
Vinton takes the timeout. They know, obviously they're just trying to score, and we're sitting here counting on our defense to do their job to keep Vinton out of the end zone. And it's, with it being a 3-score game, there's still a lot of excitement for the end of this game.
Take full advantage of what that stoppage is, and got that 21-point margin check, leading. We just got to get through 23 seconds. Vinton Shellsburg, when you look at, they were able to get a 36-yard play into the end zone back in that 2nd quarter to earn their 2nd touchdown of this game.
Blitz by the Jayhawks, picked up well by Vinton Shellsburg.
Time in that backfield, pressure defensively, and really keep them in bounds, wait it out. You almost want a slow tackle on that, don't you? Let that clock run.
They got no timeouts, chains move, so they got to get a play. They got to go quick here. Ball's going to get set, so Vinton's trying to get a play in. They're going to get one more play here, my guess. Oh, boy, this is where penalties happen. People aren't lined up where they're supposed to. They know. Yep.
And there's your flag. You called it.
Yep.
And false start for Vinton Shellsburg.
There's not a runoff in high school, I don't think, but they're going to – I think clock starts once you have a penalty on the snap. Yep, here we go. This is it.
Yep, clock is rolling. 5 seconds. This could be the last play. Pressure on that quarterback. Looking towards
Jump
the end
ball.
zone.
That's
Lots
it.
of pressure, and it's intercepted. Paxton McCone brings it in, and the game is over. Jesup wins 41-20 as they'll move on to a record of 4-4 on the season, 2-3 in District 2A6. And I will fall, actually, Vinton Shellsburg, the Vikings, will go to 0-8 on the year, 0-5 in district play. But you know what? Vinton fought. They fought this game.
Yeah. Good game. Good game to watch. Exciting till the end.
To say the least.
To say the least.
To say the least. So get them off the side, all right, get them through handshakes, but, you know, I will say it again. I'm a Jesup guy, but give Vinton a lot of credit. I just want to give them credit for, you know, a tough year, frustrating year, I'm sure. But, you know their coach. You talked about that.
Yeah.
They're going to be somewhere here down the line.
Yeah, you know, you say I think you allude to before, they don't have a lot of seniors, and I think the big part of this is going to be as Coach Hatchak continues to build this program. You know, he did a wonderful job at Union on starting with the youth and being able to get the numbers where they needed to, where he was able to make 11 straight playoff appearances. First year at Union, he was able to coach the Union squad to 6-3, missed the playoffs under the old format. And I expect Vinton to be a force to be reckoned with here in the future.
So when you look at where Jesup's been, Abe Sullivan got the first touchdown of the game with 6:23 to go. Extra point from Lang. Vinton responded at the 2:03 mark with a touchdown. Got into the second quarter. Jesup scored. Drew Munson in there with a 1-yard wildcat. Took 6 minutes for Vinton to respond. 36-yard big play for them. Tied it up at 14. But Jesup had the lead going into halftime. 21-14 with Abe Sullivan pulling in another touchdown. But there were some adjustments they had to make, maybe mind adjustments they had to make when you're looking at what needed to happen at halftime.
Yeah, so, you know, another great job by Jesup being able to use that 15 minutes during halftime in order to try to have them I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Coach McMartin's trying to get a hold of me.
Yeah,
for some
he's.
reason.
Why don't you pick up the phone and see what they're trying to get to?
Yeah.
But you know, Jesup, you know, making the adjustments. Got into the third quarter. 4:31 to go. Preston Youngblood did get his first touchdown of this game, first of 3 really. And then in the fourth quarter, Preston got his second one in. Able to see Schneider with 3:35 to go in the fourth quarter, and it was 35-20 at that point. And Jesup really needing to win by 17 or at least 17 points. And, you know, I think Coach McMartin's probably trying to get a sense of where some scores are at and where some things set up is why he's calling Coach Tim Sauer to see where some playoff things could set up. But Jesup really solidified it 41-20 with a 2-yard carry in by Preston. With 2:37 to go. Was he, Coach, calling you to kind of see some scores?
Yeah. What'd I do? Oh, there you go. Thank you. So Coach McMartin knows I've been keeping tabs on it, and obviously they need to be focusing on the game. So he just kind of asked we kind of had a prediction about PCM, but he wanted to know what the West Marshall Union game was. And, you know, he's pretty ecstatic to hear about how West Marshall did tonight because he knows unless my math is wrong, it should be the 3 seed for the Jayhawks. We'll find out, I think, at 10 a.m. The Iowa High School Association will release who that matchup is. And I haven't looked at much at anything else, but Roland Story or Osage traveling there for a number 2 seed. So make sure you clear your calendars. The Jayhawks go on the road for the playoffs next Friday.
Well, Jesup, again, congratulations to head coach McMartin. Had some rough games. That came in there with Jesup, the losses they had to Union and West Marshall, and a really hard one at homecoming with PCM Monroe. Hudson game, not a district game, but nonetheless was a one that really put Jesup into a rough start, a rough continuation of the season of district play when Treptow went out You had Nick Moore go out. There was a couple other players that went out, but they came back. They're resilient, and we very well playoff bound.
Yeah, kind of start off the season with a tough loss. We kind of knew what we were going to get into with PCM. West Marshall game last year, that was, a rain delay, storm delay, and kind of came out victorious. And so great ability for our Jayhawks to, you come out and, we're kind of 2-3, don't know how we're going to do this, and then you kind of find some momentum the second half of the season. And it's not about how well you start the season, it's about how well you finish. And being able to have this momentum going into the playoffs is, I think Coach McMartin has the Jayhawks right where they need to be.
Well, I don't know if I can get the camera in here, Anthony, if you want to switch it over as things are going, but I want to congratulate Coach McMartin on the season that they've had and continue to will have. But, this winds out our home broadcast. Bringing Coach Sauer in here, brought Nick Green in here. Actually, Jason Pilcher was in here once. Nick Green was in here, if I'm remembering right. Was Jason in here once? No.
I was an
Nick Green.
Yeah.
Jason was up in volleyball. Appreciate you joining in and taking over for an opportunity. I think you enjoyed it. You've done more notes, I think, than Luke Baldwin could even imagine trying to prepare in all of the years he was up here. But it's nice to have that knowledge in there. But I wanted to pass along to the Jayhawk fans, this will be my last, getting a little choked up, football game.
Yep.
I'm going to hang up the headset for the Jayhawks through this school year. As I've got one that's graduating and moving on, and see who else wants to step in. And didn't mean that it might be you, but you're kind of getting coached a little bit. But I want to appreciate everybody who's been a part of our broadcasts over the years, from Luke Baldwin and I, and I know Zach Knutson was involved, Anthony Ba, Eric Clark. I'll give Tony Lang some credit there as well, and the Heartland Technology Board and everything that's and all the coaches over the years. We're not done with this season yet. We'll get into basketball and wrestling. But as far as football, I wanted to shout out and thank you for being a part of the broadcast this season. It's been fun, and we're going to keep the Jayhawks moving in.
Yeah, Nate, it's been awesome to be able to work with you this year, and you've taught me a lot about calling a game, and you do an excellent job setting me up as the color commentator, and I'm only as good as you are. So from the bottom of my heart, you've made this super simple for me, allowing me to kind of do my thing up here, and I'm going to miss you. I mean, we can still.
Well, I'll be around.
Yeah,
I'll still be around, but maybe in a different capacity. I've told this. I'm not a good spectator.
Yeah. Oh, either am I.
You're used to being on the sidelines. I'm used to being up here. Road games are a little challenging for me because I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But that's years of, I was in college athletics for a number of years, and you don't cheer, and having the headset on for a number of years, you don't cheer.
Yeah.
But I want to thank for the opportunity that this all happened I got to think 8-9 years ago when Heartland Technology or Farmers Mutual started doing it, and I'm like, do you want an announcer? Well, what's that mean? Well, we got some equipment. We started with the Cube, if anybody remembers the Cube.
Oh, I remember that.
That was our entry level into it, and Anthony and Luke and I were all in here in this booth up here in the Lorient Sabres press box, and it just kept evolving where things are at. But nice to see the Jayhawks continue to win, and where Jesup football has been. And I can think back to, and you probably remember this, the win against Dyke New Hartford in the fog. That really propelled that year going into the playoffs, and all the people that were part of that team, and the coaches from Sullivan to you to McMartin for football, and all Joe Smines and that crew has been. So I think that's enough.
Yeah.
I think that's enough. But anyway, Jayhawks win tonight. Final score 41-20. 41-20 is that final score, and we will wait and see what happens next for the Jayhawks on Friday of next week. For the coach, Tim Sauer, I'm Nate Clayberg, as well as also want to thank Anthony Ba, our executive producer, on-site producer, as well as our camera operator. And again, from the Lorient Sabres press box for one final time in Jesup football, winning 41-20. Watch this entire game again on replay on Facebook or on our YouTube channel. This is the Jayhawk Sports Network from Heartland Technology with music courtesy of bensound.com. Go Jayhawks, and good night.